Yo.
And like that, we're back. This is the To Be Fair show, though. Johnny is missing in action, and Cali joining the riots right now. But
you see your boy got the troops out there on their ass.
Yeah. Johnny out there supporting his people. Y'all, if y'all seen Johnny without that hat on, you know his hair texture. It looked like ice might get called on his ass. But nonetheless. This is Q.
And I'm over here real.
Yeah, we hear what I got, Tone.
What up?
Sir A. Dot, I think that's what it says. He told us that we
Sarah Dot.
We forced a name on him. Like Toby, maybe. But yeah, nonetheless, we here. We back again. It's supposed to be 4:30, but you know,
hey,
CP do CP time apply for Pan Africans too?
That's for the Discord. You can't actually.
Okay,
that's for the Discord. Hey, and shout out to everybody in the chat already. We appreciate y'all for pulling up on us for sure.
What up, Kofi? What up, Chuck? What up, Mama Sharon? What up, Steve? Yes. What up? I know we got a couple more up at the top. We was having LTO. Shout out LTO. Shout out
Unc in the chat.
Shout out.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it's a lot on the docket. We have some music. I got Wayne.
Yes.
He dropped.
I think we should start there.
Go. Oh, that's cool. I guess there's a few parts of the conversation that we could have. Just starting off, getting warmed up. That everybody listen to it. Maybe that's the easiest way to introduce into the conversation.
Yeah, I listened to it. If I'm being honest, on the first time I tried to get through it, I probably made it through maybe about 8.
Okay.
I think about 8. I stopped on the joint when he was if I played guitar or some shit like that.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, this ain't my vibe, bro. Like we'll just I listened to it. I ain't gonna go in for any further. Tony,
I didn't know if you want to get.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, I had 2 that I actually on that first run through. I was like, okay. These 2, even though there was so many tracks, it was like 9 tracks, and only 2 of them. I fuck with the Big X the Plug joint, and the Flex.
I fuck with Big X on the Big X Plug joint.
Oh, buddy, the last dude he murdered the joint too. He did pretty good too.
Oh, I turned off. I didn't make it through Wayne verse on that one.
Damn, it was that bad.
He said zit, bro.
I wasn't mad at that. What he said, barrel to you. What he said, barrel to your head
like a pimple. Zit.
Yeah, I wasn't mad.
He's also used that exact bar before. I think it was on like a J. Cole song.
Oh wow! But, I didn't know that.
It was something about like head to your pimple, zit. It was a zit pimple punchline that he had. But I personally wasn't rolling with it. I'm gonna be honest. I attempted the album. I didn't finish listening to it or anything like that. I think that Wayne is unfortunately. And maybe we all in here are like different versions of Wayne heads.
Hell yeah, Wayne
at a point in time, Wayne was like our favorite rapper. Sure. Might be one of their favorite. I don't want to talk to anybody. Talk for anybody right now. But I think that he's going through his Eminem phase now.
Oh man,
like I don't think that he can't not rap.
No, he anymore. Can rap.
He does like an antiquated version of rap that nobody listens to anymore. Right. And then his sound flows and sonics have not evolved with it either.
Yeah, I think that for me, the beat selection was one of the main, because I'm a big production guy. When I listen to
you ain't fuck with the Elephant song.
No,
not that one.
No. I ain't really fuck. Majority of the production on the joint, I didn't fuck with. Majority, like almost all of it, really.
Okay.
Almost all of it. So that right there,
the Big X record was a vibe.
Yeah, the Big X record was a vibe.
Big X came in.
And then something else I realized, which I already knew this, but I hate the what is that? That's the quarter notes.
Okay.
You mean the consistent quarter note joint on Flex Up? Was it Flex Up?
But
then once the beat drop, okay, now you vibing a little bit.
Okay.
But you got them gonna hit me with the we finna fucking go into a rave or some shit. I ain't fucking with that. Don't even start me there, bro.
Okay.
Don't even start. But as the record on the back end when the beat drop, I'm like, okay, I ain't mad at that.
It sounded like a clown soundtrack. It's crazy.
And then it was like all over the place. Like
every Wayne. It was a time when Wayne,
Carter
was really
3 that is an album. Carter 3 is an album. Like when I think of an album, what I want to hear from an album, I want to hear you take me into different content basis. Like you can bars me here, you a Millie, but then give me Miss Officer. Yeah. Then give me Misunderstood. Yeah. You know what I mean? You done took me into a couple of different places and told me a couple different stories, and the bars are still there.
The crazy part about it was I think he tried to do that.
No, but he tried, and that was a failure.
Like it was a miserable failure, bro. Like,
and I fuck with Wayne. He's still he's still on my top 3 for me. He's still on my top 3.
Way.
But so I'm just gonna move this one to the side. It's been too long, bro. You know what I mean? He maybe he ain't got the right people around him picking the tracks out no more or to produce. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro.
50,
he chose. I guarantee you, he chose that stuff. I think he out of touch, bro. I think that's.
But that's easy. Yeah.
He just out of touch.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's like.
Wayne ain't really been.
He tried to do like a culmination of stuff he did on all
exactly.
Of the projects.
What I say, he was trying to please too many people at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like what Wayne would probably be trying to do. Right
he should have went,
especially because he done.
And then on top of that, it was too many. It was like, man, you could have just narrowed this down to like 9 songs, and you might have been okay.
Nah, it still wouldn't have been okay. That shit would have still been buns. I think it wasn't 9. It wasn't 9 solids on there to really make me. And like I say,
when I skimmed through it didn't. But I also, like. There's a version of Wayne that I respect so much that I try not to listen to like the new trash version of Wayne. Because like it's so undigestible.
But the nigga can still rap though, for real.
Like he can do like the last version of rap that he evolved into. He can still do that, which is like it's almost a nonsensical punchline wordplay rap that keeps the exact same topic base pretty much. Like and its flow patterns aren't really like it's almost kind of like stuck inside that space as well. Where
no, he had a good bit of different flow. There was a lot of different flows on there.
Oh, he did. All right,
yeah, so he had a lot of different flows on there.
Because I ain't listened to a lot of it.
I did
like that Big X shit. It sounded like some more regular Wayne.
The joint he did with his features was helping him out because 2 Chainz had a feature on there too.
Yeah, 2 Chainz
had still be sliding.
2 Chainz still be sliding, bro. It was like
that new record with the Isley Brothers. That's all right.
Big Sean had a verse on there. I like Big Sean's verse.
Damn, Big Sean served somebody.
Big Sean, bro. I was like, hey, this was actually like.
No, the dude on the end of that Big X record, I think Buddy might have served him too, though.
Okay.
Jay something, I can't remember her name. Jay something, I think bro might have served him.
It's crazy. Wayne getting served now.
Man, I think
he's trying to do too much.
Well, see, but the thing is, the features that he's been putting out, he's still been, you know what I mean? He been out rapping the guys. Not I'm gonna say the guys, but he's out rap. What's the old buddy?
The one with the list?
No. Damn, I can't think, but he one of the niggas. I feel like he fuck with Freddie Gibbs. Do we fuck with
Benny the Butcher?
Benny the Butcher.
Okay.
Him and Wayne got a record together, and Wayne went off on that motherfucker. So he has it still. The thing is, I think that
you just got to put him in the right.
He still has some bars on the album.
On the album,
it was still bars on the album. Like it was just
another thing that I
wasn't well put together.
Another thing that I felt like is like how like the new age of like the punch in rappers.
Okay, yeah.
They talk about everything, every song. It's never like an actual, you know what I mean? An actual storyline. Like that's what it sounds like. All of the verses just sound like you saying the same shit. You had a whole bunch of references to white women for whatever reason. That was a pretty much
not for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, just saying though, like you clear.
It's like where's John?
He clearly doesn't fuck with the sisters like at almost at all. That's pretty clear. And like I say, it was just it sounded like a bunch of punch-ins
Okay.
It sounded like a bunch of punch-ins where he's like trying to he's trying to.
The unfortunate thing is that Wayne is like the father of the punch-ins.
Yes.
Like that's what he was doing when he was doing like the no written thing all up the top. Like when you look at the video of like show me what you got freestyle and stuff like that, everything is punching based. It's just him stacking his bars on top of each other. I think he just burnt out.
The other
like
part is not even
too
him.
much. Well,
it's not necessarily.
Or get him on the right drugs
bars.
Again. I'm an advocate for Wayne to get back on lean and serve.
You said him stacking his bars. It might be the producer stacking his bars. It's no telling. That's the other problem.
He's my stack. Well, he's been a punching rapper since like
but a lot of time what happens with that is you have the rapper go in there and they'll rap over a beat like 3-4 times and then they leave
and then they put the verse together,
takes that and chops it up and puts
it. But I think his method is different though. It's like the newer version where they just think of like one or two bars and then they stop. And then they think of the next 2 bars, and they just build it on like that. Like
I think his was a little more freestyle-y than that, though. It was like the foundation of it is the same, but it's like he wasn't necessarily like didn't seem to me that he was like coming up with the bars, and then like maybe he come up with one that go with the last one, and then he'll rap as long as it's good, and then stop it, and then they'll take it back to a point, and then so it was a little bit more freestyle than.
Are you saying that it wasn't just only a 2-bar set to where like he'll just
right? It's pretty much like you freestyle until this, you know what I mean, till you lose it and then take it back and then freestyle some more. But nowadays it seems like they just like because every single thought, none of the thoughts connect nowadays. So it's like you talking about the chick and then you go to the jewelry and then you go to the car and then you go to you know what I mean. So it's like I think it's a little more choppy nowadays than like his.
I think it's kind of, in my opinion, I think it's kind of the same. I think Wayne at that time probably just could freestyle a little bit longer, better. But to me, it's kind of still the same. Even though I think that Wayne in general has built his career off of, he's built the height of his career off of freestyle rap. So it's like non-substantive records that's punchline based.
Talking about like the during that mixtape, the droughts, and like that time period, that led up to the Carter 3, right? Because the Carter 3 was a album.
Yeah, the Carter
but everything before that, he was doing a lot of
what got him at his hottest. Yeah, his hottest was that feature run and era right before the Carter 3 that culminated with the Carter 3, and then from the Carter 3, it kind of like slowly went down a little bit. But
Carter 4 was all right.
I don't think that
you gotta go back and look at the line. Like I didn't think it was good either until I went back and looked at the what you call it. Let me see.
Oh yeah, Johnny P in the chat.
Shout out Johnny.
What up, Johnny?
And I'm not making a statement of if the album was good or bad, as much as I think that the start of his declines happened after. I think the Carter 3 was the peak.
No, I'd agree.
Like even if like let's say the Carter 4 and the Carter 2, when you talk about relevance, were on a similar level, it's still coming down from the peak of what was the height of Lil Wayne and the Wayne feature, Feed Me Rappers, Feed Me Beats.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I'm with you, LTO.
What she said?
She said the Carter 2 was better. In my opinion,
Carter
I put
3
it
was my favorite.
Carter 1, Carter 2, then Carter 3.
I go 3.
Dang, so
Carter 3, 1, 2.
He just gradually got worse for you.
Well, I think they're just different. I think that the like I think his best rapping one would be Carter 2.
Okay.
I think the most commercial one would be Carter 3, and I think the most cohesive one, mainly like he's working with the same producer, is Carter 1, and I think that like that's when he was like, it's when the kid, or like if you look at your favorite and 1 star, or like whoever's like a kid that's nice hooping, right, and before they get completely into just like team ball structure. And like they just doing shit, but that shit kind of fly, and they just figured it out, and the creativity's all there. I think that's Carter 1 for me. Like he had the producer from like the Cash Money days, and he was still experimenting with like the new version of like the New York flow and Jay-Z bar up, and I thought he meshed it really well.
How much of that do you think Gilly was actually involved in?
I think Gilly helped format a lot of his flows for sure. Like there's certain parts of when you hear Gilly rap and the way he puts it together. Like I can't say if he wrote it or not, but you can tell that he like he was in it. They was around each other, and where like if anybody that's been a rapper at any point in time, if you're around people you can subconsciously pick up flow
that is
patterns.
a fact. That is a fact.
And like that's just kind of like what it is. And like so I can easily see that happening.
Was it after Carter 2 he was done with writing?
I think so. That, like during the feature run was that. So that was like 2007, 2008.
I think that's a mistake a lot of rappers.
No, Carter 3 came out in 2007, 2008.
Yeah, that was around.
Was it?
Yeah, that was around that time.
Okay, yeah.
That was before that.
We was in high school when Carter.
He stopped writing good bit before that.
So yeah, after the Carter 2, whatever that framing is, I'm just fucking up the years.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So basically, about in high school, he stopped writing. Pretty much, or I remember it was a mixtape he was doing. He had finished ripping all the papers out.
Yeah.
He was wrapping all of the pages, and he was like, he ain't writing no more.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like that Carter 3 wasn't written. It's crazy to think that Carter 3 wasn't written. Just the how like it was intentional. The content was so intentional for each song, and they had like specific like Dr. Carter. Like you know what I mean? It was like it had so much intention behind it.
That
it seems that's what I'm saying. Like that was a fucking album. Like I love Carter 1 and Carter 2. You know what I mean? But to me, that Carter 3 was the project. That was the movie. That was the movie, and then like 1 and 2 was like that shit was fire.
Carter 2 had his thing too, though. It had
it was fire.
Yeah, I like he experimented with a lot of like guitar sounds and shit too. And even it was like a mix of like New York production and guitars. And it was very interesting.
I'm like, and the other thing is like it's still when I listen to Carter 2, it still give me about the same feeling as it did like back then. It's like it has its own feelings. Like like Mo Fire, that's still one of my favorite songs. Like, that song is still doggone. But
that's a fact.
Like hit 'em up is one of them ones.
Hit 'em up.
I got a couple of them.
Rapper Alive. Like you can go through a couple of them.
Yeah, bro, it was a few. Yeah, it was a lot of
Rico is what I'm known to have. Shit tend to be slow, but I put on the mask and make it Halloween and take all your bags. Yeah, that was I know what you're talking about. That Wayne right there. That was a cold
interview joint. The interview song on Carter 2. That was my joint. I can't remember the name of it.
The interview joint.
The interview.
This is what they call me, biatch.
Man, that shit. You gotta pump my shit. You gotta. Yeah, bro, I gotta remember what it was.
I keep pimping. What's that? Got a bitch in the front. Oh,
that's Carter 1.
Got a hoe in the front. Yeah.
One is rolling the
blood. Getting pussy in the
Carter 1 had its own.
Mac, pimp. It was a time. That was a vibe.
The crazy part, I ain't even listened to Carter 1 like that when it was out. I was listening, like
that's one of the ones right there. Yeah. Let's just talk. He said, you gotta talk like a pimp was good. Mama, you knew better, you do better. Who better than that nigga in that Crips white tee? I see white sneaks. So what better? You do better getting your ass off up in this coop.
And then let's not act like Birdman JR wasn't on there.
Hey, damn, like father, like son. What was that? That was after.
That was
3, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was after
2. No, was it?
It was between 2 and 3. I can't remember if it was between the Carter 1 and Carter 2 or the Carter 2 and Carter 3. But it wasn't. It was before. It was before 3. That's where stunting like my daddy was. And
on that Yamaha.
Hey, that motherfucking that leather so soft is that production. What is it? Something music where he had in the video he had that bait. Remember that bait coat?
Hustler music.
Yeah. That's another one. The production on both of those was cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Brown paper bag on like father like son.
Yeah, brown paper bag is another one.
But saying all that to say, Wayne, either get off the drugs or get back on the right drugs. I would also like you to like put the skateboard down forever.
No, put the skateboard. I think
it's time for down. Like go take us to Dwayne Carter. We can go with fade Wayne. Just get the fade. You can come to the other side with me. Go ball. You know what I mean? And just wear hats and shit. But
I feel like he only flicked the lighter like on one track. That was another thing. We ain't hit a lighter. He wasn't doing.
He maybe he
because he knew it wasn't fire.
He might be self-aware enough to understand that these ain't lighter flick records.
Yeah, I also wondered. Now, this is just a thought. I don't know how true or if this has any legs at all. Y'all tell me if you think so. So, for the reason why he couldn't, from my understanding, I ain't do any research, but from my understanding, the reason why he couldn't drop another Carter was because of that situation with Birdman, right? The reason why he couldn't drop for a minute and. I'm hoping because that's my guy that he had to put this one out to finalize whatever the fuck he was trying to get at. You know what I mean? That's how they do that shit. You got so many albums you got to put out under this signature, and then once you get past that, you know what I mean?
Maybe
I'm hoping. I know I'm reaching. I'm scratching. I'm scrolling like a motherfucker, but I hope that is the reason why we kind of got this project. This has got them close that chapter. Then hopefully he got something coming that'll be, you know what I mean?
This nigga ain't Kendrick Lamar, bro.
An album.
Well, that's that Frank Ocean shit. Like, just drop an album just to get out my contract, and then drop the
Somebody
real
else
album.
Did that too. Oh no, next week that's crazy.
Yeah, that was that Frank Ocean shit. But nonetheless, it seems like did I send any memes in for this? I feel like Lil Wayne has let the collective Wayne heads down.
No, that's true.
Like I said, I do feel like Wayne ain't been hard in about 12 years. Pause. But meaning hard as in like I ain't really fucked with like too much that he's been putting out in about 12 years.
I think
it's a one or two here and there, but
I'm Not a Human. Years. Was it I'm Not a Human that he dropped?
Wasn't that
when he kind of veered the fuck off?
Yeah, that's when he was like doing his rock and shit.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, we know Kendrick's hard work did not let Lil Wayne down because this album tells it.
Man, that was him performing his old shit.
Lil Wayne let Lil Wayne down.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Wayne hard work let me down.
Let the beat build. See, I don't like shitting on my guy for too many sentences straight. So then I try to throw out. What is
just said a beat. Just say.
Let the beat build, nigga. Fuck that, nigga.
Let me double check the messages really quickly. Do you have any final thoughts on the Carter 6
tone?
Damn. The sad thing is that Young Thug Barter 6 might have been better.
Oh, I ain't listening to that. I don't know.
Barter 6 might have been better. It's rough.
What was on Carter 5?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably the only thought I'd say. I did realize there's some bars on there to go back and listen to, but also the other thing that threw me off, too many 666s and shit. I'm like, I don't want to hear.
He kept.
Oh yeah,
he just kept doing that. He was doing that a lot. I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
That's crazy. I'm scrolling through Carter 5 to see if I see something. As soon as you say that, I'm looking at a track that say Demon.
Yeah, that's all. That's
crazy.
Like I listen to people when they tell me they demons and they keep rapping about being a demon and stuff. I listen to them. I don't want to. Okay, well that means I don't need to be.
Tone, I just sent one into the messages. It was a couple of memes that I thought were prevalent for.
Oh no, that was Rebirth. I think Rebirth was the Rock album.
Yeah.
Because
No
Ceilings was cold.
Oh, No Ceilings was still like that was
after
Wayne.
3. That was after 3.
Yeah, that was still peak Wayne. I think it might have been like his last classic mixtape that he dropped. Yeah.
What, you send it to the inbox? Or?
Yeah, just to the regular inbox. We appreciate you, Wayne, for letting us laugh at your is this pain or joy? I don't know what it is. Laugh at your drug habits. Laugh at your
I wasn't laughing at his drug habits, bro. Don't say it like that.
His consistent decline. Laugh at his social inawareness. Laugh.
You're gonna make me pull out a whole nother track, man.
Yeah, I don't feel like that, bro.
I don't feel like that. Out. No.
Okay. You hit these memes and we can get off of him real quick. I thought that these were two
just talk about
two good ones right here. While Tone seems to be OCD.
No, I wouldn't OCD that way, but yeah, I guess I am. And plus, we got this on here. It'd be funny acting on Facebook. No, okay, that worked today.
All right, so this would be one right here. Click Unc down. All right, I thought that this was hilarious. Wayne walking out the booth after finishing the Carter 6.
Oh man,
you understand what makes it funny?
I can't even see.
It's Patrick Ewing, but he's in the Magic jersey. Yeah, this is when he was washed.
Oh damn! I ain't know Patrick Ewing played for the Magic.
Most people don't.
I didn't know that.
It's when he was
no, that's
old
crazy.
And washed. Can you go to the other one? This one was another good one. That's relevant.
Hey, you gotta think about it, bro. As a person like these famous people, when you do some shit that like it's like a unanimous
trash, yeah,
and like everybody's talking about that shit online, there's no way you can get away from that.
Now this is fact. No, he hear it. He understands what's happening.
We'll talk a nigga to a ledge. Them famous people, I know that they have a hard time.
What's crazy though is you can tell the difference between like the propaganda ads and stuff like that. Like now they got the ads that be trying to push like oh yeah, the album is such and such, and
oh,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Seen that.
no, it's
that.
not. Everybody is saying
yeah,
I
know that they had that.
Yeah, they're doing that now, so they're trying to push it like, yeah, this album was the best. Or, like,
yeah, they talking about how many streams he got on the first day,
yeah.
which he got a hell of a lot of streams.
Did you read it? It said after. I'm gonna let you read that. I'm a little too
after the ain't no racism because I'm rich interview. I think the ancestors stripped him of any and all talents.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, I mean,
he went on a rant.
Yeah, he went. That was tough,
bro. And then I'm gonna tell you the other thing that got
white laws matter. Black lives matter because all my bitches matter.
Why?
Oh, you crazy!
I'm gonna tell you the other thing that get me.
A white man saved my life.
But my thing is, you gotta think about that in like, if a white man saved your life, bro.
What that got to do with racism in general?
No. But I'm just talking about you. Kind of gonna have a different. Because he still was talking that. Nah, fuck it. I ain't gonna. I was about to pull out another.
I'm gonna tell you another thing I done got tired of, bro. With these covers, why everybody want to be a baby on their cover, bro?
To give Wayne his
covers, bro. I don't want to see.
No, Wayne was doing
that shit long time.
I know, bro. I don't want to see. He did it at Carter 3, and then he just kept. It's continued, but it's multiple people who done did it.
Well, they just biting him.
Yeah, Nas did it first.
Oh, okay.
Cool, but
that was.
I think that Nas might have did that in the 90s. Wayne did it in like 08 or
which
09.
one was? Which album was it? Was it Illmatic or Stillmatic?
Yeah, that's in the 90s.
I can't remember which one it was.
Illmatic is his face.
Stillmatic might have been. I can't remember which one had him as a child. It might not have been either one of them.
But that's still 90s though.
Yeah, but I ain't mad.
But I get what you're saying.
I'm tired of seeing the baby.
So
Biggie,
hey, man,
that's another one. Biggie had did it.
Yeah, I ain't saying he was the first one.
Nirvana, I think, did it.
Nobody give a shit.
Everybody did it, man.
What is you even talking about?
I'm just saying, everybody done did the baby. I like covers, so I look at covers. That's the I
ain't gonna lie. I almost put my kindergarten graduation joint when I on my project. Remember, I put that picture out on my IG. This was back when we was doing the shits.
I know. I thought
about doing that shit.
A single cover with my kindergarten graduation, Fountain of Youth. That was about it.
Then they doing the AI with the baby and stuff now. I'm like, they have an AI and the baby's picture up there, or his baby picture. Yeah, that joke weird to me.
Man, bro,
I dig it. All right, so we've kind of packed up Wayne.
You want to see what they thought about?
Steve said,
so you can see. I can't see. I don't know what the fuck they said.
Pusha T was right about Wayne on that infrared.
Yeah, I just listened to that record. What did he say? Flash without the fire.
What did Pusha T
Another
say?
platinum rapper trapped and can't retire. It's something like that. He gave him some bars. Pusha T also clips in general. They also have released possibly my favorite record at the moment. That it's something trumpets. Golden trumpet. It's something. That shit hard. Hell, Tony, if you want to play good like 30 seconds of it, go to YouTube.
Are we gonna get
we'll play like 30 seconds.
Okay.
And we people have reacted to this song already. So it's not.
I was about to say I ain't trying to goddamn get no flag.
Yeah, people have reacted. We ain't gonna listen to the whole song.
I
will say you just got to take away one bar from Pusha, but after that, and Malice might have got him.
Dang,
that's the sad.
I want to play the video or the
It don't matter. Just play a little. ET. The Ouija.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like this bar coming up.
Connect me to the Wi-Fi. The only way you reach, man. Come on, bro.
He said,
"Come on, bro."
What did he say? Killing my teen spirit. Nirvana, whatever the Nirvana bar was. Yeah, he goes.
Pusha can go.
Oh, they couldn't even hear it.
But they couldn't. Oh, damn. Y'all was looking at it. Y'all was looking at us bob our heads off of nothing.
Tone over here fucking up.
I don't know why how am I fucking up? I don't know how they can't hear it.
Ain't it your job to make sure they can hear?
Bro, ain't it your job?
Your job?
You didn't share the tab, Tone.
You got to share the tab every time for them to hear it?
Yeah. Okay, whatever you playing at the time.
I thought they could hear it still when we weren't sharing the tab. Whole time.
I'm fucking up.
All right, my bad, audience. Nonetheless, we played a little bit of it. I guess the positive of it is that there's no way we could get a strike now.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
that's true.
Y'all got to see our scrunch ugly faces. But nonetheless, moving on. Was there, I guess, in my opinion, an easy way to eventually evolve into the main topic that's on the thing would be the Republican. What's the best way to kind of put this? Well, we'll just call it MAGA infighting at the moment. Elon has chose a side.
He chose blood.
Has chose a side.
Nigga said you was in the tapes, nigga. That's why we can't get him.
Yeah. It got really interesting and spicy. It was just a day later too. Like the guys, they pulled up, and Trump was like, it was like most of this was like kind of like amazing, hilarious theater. Trump hit him up and say, "Hey, you offer this dope shit, but I'm gonna give you a key. Come in his office, stand behind me." So they had their whole press conference. The funny part about the press conference though is that, like, my dog Elon, I didn't
watch the joint.
My dog Elon is in the back, and he's either off the drugs or disgusted. He's like, it's only one. Like he's like, he doing all kind of the craziest shit. Behind him, like at certain points when Trump is talking about certain things, like the big bill,
right?
But like it's obvious that you can see that he can't hold his emotion inside that, but he does accept it. And when he accepts it, he turns his head and you see that black eye, right? And
question,
yeah.
So what was the thing about the bill? Because I know they got the tax, John.
What part is he not favorable of?
Is it the fact that it isn't have the funding for Doge? Was it relative to Doge, or what exactly?
All right, so there's a couple different parts to it. So generally speaking, what Elon is stating is that the bill is going to increase government funding, which will undo anything that he did.
Oh, it's about increasing the deficit.
Deficit. There we go.
The
deficit. Government spending.
So it's pretty much the whole reason you got me doing Doge was to decrease the spending, but then you're gonna double back and increase. Which I mean,
right. So like that would be a part of it. Trump is saying that really this nigga just mad because we getting these EV mandates, whatever the little thing is, the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah.
This shit been a waste of time and niggas ain't buying them cars. And so like that's what Trump is saying. That's the real reason why he's mad. And from there, these are like the after parts. Like
the fact
where I was at inside the I guess like the story. So they have the meeting. He gives him the key, and a day finishes, and then my dog Elon get on that X. He get on X, and he's like, you know what? I can't hold it. It's a fat, ugly bill or some shit like that. Like he just started going. It's like, oh shit, he going crazy. And Trump, I think he had like a quick little interview, and he was like,
something about some fat drugs.
Well, I know at first he was saying like, this is when it was still a little cordial. This was before my dog he threw it all on the table. Trump was like, he's a good guy. You know, I had to let him go because he was wearing things. You know, Trump gonna throw his little nudges in there and shit like that.
He always gonna do
that. But in essence, he said that had to let him go. And you know, he was wearing thin around here, but you know, it kind of is what it is. And Elon, I guess he off the drugs and got too much free time. But after that, he kind of turned up. He was live tweeting the interview, but then he's like, you know what? Fuck it. The niggas on the Epstein list.
Yeah, that's right. Yo got Twitter.
I say, oh shit, niggas going crazy.
I think I seen it the day of. That was early this week, right?
Yeah.
I think I seen it the day of. He was like, what he said? the way he led up to, like, it was almost like
I'm really drop the big bomb. Or
some shit like that. Yeah. The reason why we can't get the tapes is because he owned them.
Yeah,
I like, damn.
What's that? He gonna accuse that nigga being at a Diddy party soon. Boy.
That was crazy. I was like, damn. I already knew. I ain't know. See, honestly, I wasn't. I ain't been keeping up with it lately. Yeah, I ain't been keeping up with that part lately. Go ahead.
Somebody been said that stuff about him, like Donald being on the.
They had the pictures of them together too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think they got the videos.
Sure. LTO said something here. LTO said, "I think it's all fake to keep us distracted from something else." I do too. That's the feeling I got from it off gate. I was like, this just seemed like out of the clear blue. It seemed real manufactured.
Well, my thing would be is that if they're keeping us distracted, what is the thing that like what is the thing? There had to be.
I think that they'll be they would want to distract us from the ice bill,
or the bill, or the ice shit.
But why would you be getting distracted? Like that's
I don't know, and Trump it might not even be something we know of yet. But the feeling I got, like even when I seen it, I was like, okay, this just came out of the clear blue. It seemed real manufactured. Like, okay, all of a sudden this week they just started beefing and they putting it all out on the air in public. Like I don't
know, bro. You gotta look at like the two individuals that we're talking about.
That's the big part.
I mean, to me, that maybe they didn't let us know why the shit when it really started, but at the point in which we will find out, it will be at its wit's end.
I think it's something we don't know about yet, and it's like if they together, people will be watching harder. The same way people being criticized and everything. Like I think it like benefits both of them for them to be on like both sides, because Elon, like sides. What do you mean by that? Before Elon was on this whole Trump train, Elon was a Democrat, right. And the Democrats was all supporting him.
Yeah, and he even walked out on the dinner, and his pops left his pops sitting there because his pops said that he was pro-Trump in this big dinner, and everybody walked out on him and left his pops sitting there. So he didn't fuck with Trump big time,
right?
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know where the shift where it exactly happened, but that was a big shift that he made to get on that Trump train.
Yeah, so I mean, I can see something like,
but I don't see he's not going to go back to be in the favor of the Dems though.
I think he tweeted something about having coming up with his own party.
Well, he was like, and I guess we can evolve the conversation eventually to like the third party conversation that he was attempting to introduce. But to what you were saying, I think, in my opinion, a lot of this seems like rich, powerful man theater that's playing out in front of us. For sure. Where you have literally the most powerful man in the world and the richest man in the world. And like, it's not like the conversation around this hadn't already been present. Like I've heard on right and left that eventually these two people are going to kind of fall out just because of the nature of their personalities. And Elon wouldn't be able to keep a subservient role for long. I mean, too much longer.
And Trump is going to require that.
Right. And Trump kind of requires it. And then the way that he was kicked out of the whole White House shit. I think if everything went smooth, I don't even think any of this happens. The fact that it was already rumblings of niggas was tired of him, and pretty much like the kind of way to save face was him giving him the key. But after that, it was like the whole black eye shit. And then the talk in general for this guy with this huge ego, the richest man in the world, on his platform is that that nigga, like, you failed, you got kicked out, you got like, it's all this emotional triggering shit that I don't know Elon to ever have shown like some version of poise, resiliency when it comes down to like anything that deals with him and attacks towards him.
And wasn't there an additional thing where didn't Trump go and have that meeting, and what I think Bezos didn't go? It was a couple of.
I know he fucks with one of Elon's enemies. I can't remember his name.
I think he had went and correct me with somebody in the chat. Hopefully y'all keep up with it more than I have here just recently. But I think that there was he was in talks with, and he went to another country. He was in talks about, it was some tech conversation they were having, but they ended up leaving like I think Facebook was left here. That Zuckerberg, right? I think Facebook was left here. Elon was left. It was like 3 or 4 of them that they didn't take on this supposed to be this really important conversation about how tech moved forward. Oh yeah, and the 10 year, I think that's where they came up with the 10-year John of
we can talk about that in a little bit. But yeah,
okay,
I know you're talking about the big bill shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and going back to what you were saying, I also do think that them, like, the language and the talks inside the bill that's going to like take away the whole little EV shit is big as well. in him. I think that it also with that, like that alone could probably be a reason why he just say fuck the bill. That and the whole government, not fuck the bill, but will also say fuck the bill.
Yeah,
but want to beef inside like the political theater that he controls on X.
I still always question stuff. Whenever stuff comes out on the news, I question it. Like it's a reason that they're showing it. Like think about how much stuff happens that we do not hear about. Like
right, but I guess but this would be him putting this out on his own platform.
Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, this one could have. I don't think
we're gonna see how this play out over the time. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they dog gonna be right back getting along like some months later. From now, like nothing surprised me.
Hey, I don't think I would say I would be surprised because you ain't seen nobody goddamn Trump go at nobody and them go back and forth and then they come back around.
That's true too.
That ain't happened yet. This would be a first.
I kind of got a feeling Trump got a mob or something because the way he be moving is kind of like Trump seemed like
Trump said like the way you talking won't be really too good for you. He said he said something like that. Like Trump talked like you could tell he came up inside that cloth. Like not 90s, the 70s mob shit, New York shit.
Exactly.
Like everything he said is like metaphorical threats to a nigga. And I think that's his own interesting thing.
That was like, who was that? They said that Buddy went over to was it in Afghanistan or was it Iraq, Afghanistan? He went over there and told the dude. Showed him the video of his crib.
Oh, for real?
He told niggas, you ain't gonna do nothing else. Y'all you ain't gonna kill another soldier. They got them showed the nigga his house. Like, good. And I don't know how true this is. That was either way. Go ahead.
Kofi say Trump is holding back from Elon because Elon knows where the bodies are.
I think that it's just gonna be really interesting to see how this plays out.
It's gonna be
because of.
I'd agree.
I do think that Elon feels he has something on Trump. And I don't know if because Trump ain't jumped out the window yet. Well, he's kind of like he said he ain't fucking with him no more. He ain't talking to him. But Trump will drag too.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's threatened the whole like taking away all your government subsidies and shit like that, which pushed Elon's stock all the way down. But again, Elon does have his own like play in this where a lot of like the NASA spaceship, like he
runs that shit pretty
much.
Like
he has a big hand in it, and you can say what you want about like whether he created it or did anything like that. He has the businesses that are doing the shit.
Owns the technology.
Yeah. There's some with Kofi in the chat. I'm sure he can speak to it. There's some like for example, there's like a group of people that was stuck out in space and they was using Elon's shit to try and go get him or whatnot.
But it was from my understanding, the biggest thing was that the technology where you could reuse the portion of the rocket. I can't remember which point, but it was a piece of the missile, or I'm sorry, the rocket that generally it just, you know what I mean, is it just pretty much just blows up and you can't use it. You have to fucking recreate that whole thing over again. The one that Elon came up with is that it's reusable.
Oh, well, you're talking about something different. I'm talking about like there's people stuck in space.
Oh no, I know about that one too. Okay. I know about that.
Are you talking about like I don't know if like specifically the technology as much as like certain things that technology could be a part of it. But from my understanding, like he is contracted with the government in certain capacities when it comes to SpaceX as well.
Yeah.
In which like again, like it's an interesting space because you got the richest man in the world and then the most powerful man, and they're intertwined to an extent. And again, like he said, hey, nigga, I got you in office. That's what he said. He said you wouldn't have won if it wasn't for me. I put up 200. And I mean, this can. I don't know if
you believe
that he helped.
No. That he couldn't have won with. Do you think that Elon's whatever that bread that Elon put out there is what would have drawn out the masses? Or what? I mean, that would you would have to believe that. Go ahead.
I think that it's more so. So do I think that Elon helped tremendously? Yes. And I think that is through more routes than just saying like he threw out the 200 million. He was trying to pay, quote unquote, for people to go to polls inside Pennsylvania. As much as him and his cachet and his group of people that already fuck with him and are like religious to what he says, that would be one. The bigger player, the biggest player is X. And how he has changed X.
That right there, I can see that. That's where I can see
it. Because like Twist turning the thing on his head, they was talking about the Dems.
Yeah, at first it was like just a Dems
like playground, the free speech shit, but then you end up flipping it on his head. And now you muting other
and
side.
Everything in the algorithm pushes Trump right-leaning ideas, and
I could see that.
Like the change in that algorithm inside that specifically, and then you just think about he's the one in which he has the Twitter algorithm specified to pretty much like broadcast anything he posts. So he's also now throwing out the Kamala memes. He's also throwing out
memes about what?
Like all the different little memes that was going around during election time. Like Elon was also a part of that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about currently doing.
No. Okay, saying how he helped. But yeah, just like that shift in the algorithm, the cachet that he already had, the people that he was able to kind of like bring in, especially when you start thinking about the Republicans' new younger push that came. There's a lot of those quote unquote tech bros that he helped convert.
Okay.
I guess before we move on, if you want to hit some of the memes, maybe not memes, comments. I know the guys they've been going in. Might not be able to hit all of them. If you could hit a couple from just try and change a person. It seemed like Steve them commented, Kofi, Unk, Mama Young, Chikwe. Yeah. Whichever one that you feel fits inside that side of it. Just try and hit one of each other.
Trump should nationalize SpaceX. I'm just gonna start here because we got a good
all right, cool.
These guys are steady of space, and he said Elon was going to send his ship to go get them because Biden did not care about them.
Yeah, you see how that lady came back looking? She had aged like 72 years, bro.
Damn.
That shit.
Elon spent $200 million on Trump to be president. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but we were talking about what does that actually mean? Like, what does that look like?
Okay.
Check out what's going on in New York. They'll be counting all the votes because they said that in county we should vote. There was 0 votes to come.
In what? I don't know.
I guess in one of the counties it was 0 votes.
Dealing with Trump's election.
Yeah, I guess so.
He gonna be the president for the next 3 years.
Oh yeah. We might as well. Yeah, that ain't going on.
Yeah, and the thing is, if Elon does come out and admit to rigging the election, that's a whole nother.
Report his ass.
Yeah.
Send his ass out.
Yeah, like
oh shit. Well, no, I don't mind. I heard something else about the Connors, bro.
The Afrikaners. Yeah. Oh, the fact that is it dealing with Elon? Talking about like.
No, it was dealing with the fact that they were trying to make it seem as though they were bringing out just these poor whites, and couldn't find out that wasn't.
I didn't believe that in the first place, and then they said it was 50 of them. Why did you choose 50? Like
they said it's not the case, but I'll do a little bit more.
Who did they say that they who were they saying that it was?
No, they were saying that they were affluent. Like they weren't like I know they got that town over there where it's just them. But they were saying that these are actually affluent whites. I don't know why they would have made it seem as though, in order for you to make them to be the victims in it, you couldn't say that they were, wealthy whites. You would have to say the poor, that they're just getting treated unfairly and da da da. You have to make that be the story.
But I guess like what they was calling the genocide was the farmers. Like so, the farmers are like in essence the factory owners out there,
right?
They're the ones that were getting genocided, quote unquote. So,
but I'm saying if think about this, if that's actually because based on what the testimonies that I've heard, they saying that shit wasn't happening.
Oh no!
So if it's not happening, but I'm just saying if it's not happening, and y'all are the farmers, which means y'all are
y'all are the affluent,
right? So then why would they use that to say that they're Why would they make it seem like it was the lower of the what I mean?
I guess I hadn't heard that part. Yeah, but I hadn't heard that specific. Maybe
y'all were talking about it on Unpack.
I think maybe Johnny had said it.
I remember Johnny mentioned it on Unpack too.
But to me, if you listen to the whole conversation, they would have to be people of money because of. And then when you I was watching, maybe it was a Piers Morgan where they had like one of the represent. It was like an all South African panel where they had some black, some white people, whatever, and they was kind of talking through it. In which, I think that. Generally speaking, well, one again, there's no genocide, and it was funny enough. Everybody on both sides said it wasn't a genocide. They disagreed on like the frequency in which it happened, which is his own thing. But they like when they set it up, it would be the affluent people that would be because of like you have the the farm, like I guess the owner of the farm, whatever. Then you have the workers, but then you have like there's the middle management in essence. That all exhibit, not exhibit, but exist. But it's the farmer, generally speaking, that's the one that's supposed to be trying to come over here because they're in threat for their life. So this is still like, if it's a factory, it's the CEO, the C-suite.
Okay. When it comes down to power, white people want it all and can't stand nobody with more power than them. One just happened to have the money, the other one just happened to have the seat as power. Elon's an African American.
I heard that joke.
An African American.
The U.S. Space Force and NASA depends heavily on SpaceX. This is a significant part of the economy too.
True.
Yep.
Elon trying to say that the election really was rigged and he did something with the computers.
So my thing would be is that so what happens if he did it? Like if you're confessing to this thing, you know what I mean? What
which part? Like what Chuck said, or
no? What who was that you just read?
Chuck.
That was
that was
just said, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Tone was saying the same thing. Like he pretty much if he rigged the election.
Yeah, I guess I just don't think that he rigged the election.
I'm just saying based on what they're saying. I think he won too. Honestly, I think that I've been still trying to figure out find the statistics of actually comparative to the previous election, how many specifically black men, but black people in general set out this election.
Okay.
I still can't find it. Well, I ain't looked in like the last 2 weeks, but like maybe about a month ago, I still looked to try to find like the numbers so I can compare because I feel like a lot of people set out.
No, well, you can look and see.
Oh, you said that the other day, and I tried to look at it when you said it.
Like in essence, it's. I can't remember how we got there. But in essence, there's a chart that shows that the black vote stagnated. It didn't increase, and everybody else's vote increased. And it shows the margin by which theirs did and what black people's kind of stagnated at.
All right. Damaging Elon's businesses will also damage the U.S. economy. Trump has to thread that needle carefully.
This is fair.
Yeah. I actually agree with that too. I didn't thought about that because it's a lot going on as far as infrastructure and future infrastructure that Elon and his company have their hands in. Like whether it's even it ain't all just with the government, but it's like it's a lot of technologies they making that we're going to be using.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I think maybe the way to get there, Royal, would be voter turnout.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
Yeah, and you could just kind of look at the charts of voter turnout.
Correction, they said that in the county of New York, the votes did not add up because Kamala should have gotten votes. They said it was 0. So she got 0 votes in one of the counties or something.
Yeah, they said the turnout in 24 was 65.3%. The midterm, okay, we ain't gonna count midterms. 2020 was 67%. So it doesn't look like a.
If that's midterms, that wouldn't have been
Yeah, that's why I didn't count. No, that's why I didn't count the midterm one. I didn't even say.
I'm about to say just go to a presidential election. They should have stats for it.
Okay, so Rail is saying giving Trump money means nothing. We too smart to have this benign neglect and selective ignorance.
Kofi, I think that you looking to we also doing it. We're gonna do the call in a little bit.
Trump has broken laws.
I think that like sometimes like you will listen to hear what you want. I don't think that that's what he's saying.
Steve came back and said Kofi not saying that. He was just asking what was the impact of the money. Assume the worst about folks.
That's what I'm saying. Like Kofi a drag off of nothing, boy. Just relax. Like we just trying to talk through the conversation. We trying to figure it out. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. If I could find the interesting enough angle to attack the moon landing, or if I can get some people that really because like Kofi
he believes it.
He says that it is that it happened. If I can make sure I have somebody that really wants to stand on that it didn't, we could have a really good unpack this one.
What, the moon landing?
Yeah, the moon landing.
But that's funny. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't going. I ain't going on. I
don't really have I ain't looked at enough shit.
They said one of the niggas that said that he was supposed to have gone. He said we ain't go.
Buzz, I forgot his name, but he said they didn't go.
Yeah, one of the niggas. Yeah,
I haven't looked at this.
It was saying like he was talking to a child, one of the kids. So was talking highly about them landing.
So we do not know what money does in politics. Got it.
What?
Hey,
again, you're trying to force niggas into another side that they're not in. I think that everybody agreed that Elon had a big impact on the election.
Buzz Armstrong, that was his name. Armstrong. Appreciate it, LTF.
But yeah. Where were we at?
Let's see.
Something like we was just doing the comments. I guess you were going to segue right into the actual.
Okay,
that you had.
Was there anything else? Black voter turnout dropped in the swing states. I could imagine that.
Swing states. 500K Black Americans in Georgia didn't vote. Trump only won Georgia by 100K votes. Same applies for North Carolina and Pennsylvania.
If you can link the thing chart. The chart that you've seen that in. I know that we've all looked for it and haven't been able to find it. I've seen like the national black voter turnout. It doesn't necessarily break it down by male and female. So I know like there's the whole drag of like black men didn't vote or black women overly vote, like whatever the whole little thing is. Yeah. I know percentage wise, everything was kind of close to on par as it had been within like the past 16 years. Like it kind of.
And when you say percentage wise, you're talking about like where they actually leaned.
79% of black men, or it was either 79 or 82. I can't remember.
I think it was 82 and 86, wasn't it?
For what?
For men and black
men.
No,
black women was 92.
Okay, so maybe it was 86 and 92. Because I don't think it wasn't 70. It wasn't 70. I would have remembered that 70. I think it was 80 something for black men, and I knew that black women voted Democrat at a much higher. Which they generally vote more than us anyway.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there. Like that's why I was giving a couple numbers. I can't remember which one it was. If it was 70, it was 79. But I think it may again. You probably know.
Oh yeah, he said. You're asking what does the money given to Trump means? Roll the tape back.
No, that ain't what I was asking, bro. But no, well, I ain't want to. We moving forward. But what I was specifically asking is like, if you were to spend that money, like, what is that money actually buying you? What does that look like?
How does that impact the campaign to where it actually is going to deliver you votes? Because like, not when you look buying influence, and that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Because when you look at the way Democrats, when you see their campaign trail, you can see those people walking around, knocking on the doors, and you can literally see
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, you can see that thing. But like, I didn't really see the.
And I heard they was giving out the big bag too. The Dems.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
To perform on that stage.
Yeah. Even the
Republicans probably greasing people's pockets. Like, we need this building over here.
No, we
just need this incident right here to pop off at a certain point.
Get your kids in this school right here, and they probably looking at it like in a bigger picture, like a motherfucker. Yeah. And we just want a little check. They're actually getting some shit done.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think that the 200 million was as impactful as the endorsement of Elon. Like I think that 200 million really was to buy him that seat at the table, to do all the Doge shit that he did.
Yeah,
that makes more sense to me.
I would agree with you on that.
That would make more sense to me. You paying that 200 million, and that actually gets me in the building. Yeah, you know what I mean? Now I'm in the fucking building.
Now I get to act like I'm really.
I'd have created a whole fucking a whole department damn near. Oh, that's what they call it. Department. What is it? Department of.
So did he end the whole department, or did he put somebody else in charge of it?
I'm not as updated on that.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Because I'm not against the idea. He should have somebody who's questioning it. They should have a department that's questioning the spending. My
thing is, for a minute though, wasn't it something that you could see live what they were finding? I think that went away, didn't it? Where you could actually see the monies that they were supposedly saving, whereas as they were cutting these things. But then, like, I think you showed me that, Tone. Didn't you show me that? On the Doge site where you could actually see the savings.
They were showing it.
But that shit went away.
I didn't even know. And the thing is, I actually agree with the idea of having one, like, because it kind of creates another check and balance. If they have they should be questioning the president's decisions also the whole time. Like all of that should be going on. Okay, we need to, like, they could be the communicators between the people and what's going on. Do the people actually agree with this? Is this actually benefiting the people? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not against the idea, but yeah.
Hey, Steve, I was trying to skim through a little bit. What I did see is it says in Philadelphia, the overall turnout dropped from 66% in 2020 to 63% this year. In which, like, if it's a drop, I think that's cool. I think it's a 3% drop though. I don't know if it's as drastic as what, like, the guys be kind of like touting.
Oh, no. I understand what you said now. Like they do be dragging nuts on the fact that niggas sat out. But I think that, you know what I mean? I think that if you look at each of those states, each of the
I'd love to see it on the national level.
On the national,
I imagine like that's probably close on par. It might be like a 3% drop. That's where like I remember looking up the numbers and it seemed like it stagnated. It did, but previous years it had been a continual increase. And to that, I understand where like we can say voter apathy did sit in, but
yeah, I had a protest vote.
Oh yeah, you set out.
Yeah.
No, I know people say I voted for who I always vote for.
The third party.
Yeah.
I know. I understand I understand how people come up with your protest vote or not voting is just as bad. It's just like the worst thing you can do. Well, I mean, I've consistently voted. So in my opinion, I kind of did. It wasn't just a dumb decision. It was just, for me, I felt like because I usually participate, me not participating does show. I'm not going to just go Republican. And I guess that's kind of going where you planned on going with the topic on today. But go ahead. So I'll just let you.
I was going to let you segue and walk us into it. I guess I would start by saying that to the notion of what you're saying, to me, I would have. I think that it'd have been more value in writing Harambe, just because of keeping your vote in the system but not attached to either party. I think that in comparison to when they do the overall like big numbers, they're not looking at who was active and then didn't vote, and like the active voters that became dormant in comparison to like the numbers and its increases and decreases in totality. That'd be my only pushback. But I understand not caring to vote for either party because of, again, I was inside that bucket.
Yeah, and this was also the first year that I actually went unaffiliated.
Okay.
So I just changed maybe like a year prior to. I went and got my CDLs and all that. Yeah. And I had went and changed myself to unaffiliated from Democrat. Okay. And so yeah, that was another thing that I had did, but I ain't gonna say that influenced my decision not to vote, but it was just, you know what I mean? It was I wasn't gonna go with I didn't like what we had to pick from. And I could have went Jill Stein, you know what I mean? I could have went Jill Stein,
you could have wrote in Harambe.
I ain't gonna do no shit.
You could have with my boy Cornel West, man. Stop playing with my boy Cornel, bro.
I could have did Cornel West, and that would probably been something more to where that I actually feel. But I think Cornel is a little bit more.
He's a Bernie bull.
Yeah, he's a little pretty much the Bernie. I fuck with Bernie. You know what I mean? I got my whole family damn near on the Bernie train back then. That was when I was really into the politics. I had got my whole family. They actually voted for him on the initial job. They actually voted my mom. I don't think,
but they ain't matter because Democrats got super delegates and shit like that.
Yeah, they ain't trying to go,
bro. They calling y'all MAGA, and I don't know why. I don't know how we got the
MAGA because
who's they, bro? Who's saying that?
Kofi.
Not Kofi don't count, bro.
Yeah, Kofi
always saying that. I ain't talking about Kofi.
Mama Sharon and Hilda here agreeing. They said we need to stop watching the shows we watch.
Because of what?
Because we getting the wrong info.
What info did we get?
I didn't know what show I was watching.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
But no, my question, like, what? Because we haven't said anything that's on the side
of anything. Because I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that anybody's defended a side. I know that Kofi's not for voting third party, and which like that's his own perspective. And like I think, matter of fact, I think we all got on
sometimes local news. I don't watch the local news either. Like you don't even have to watch the news to see stuff nowadays. The reality of how most people get information is it's bombarded in your face on Instagram.
But I don't know what he. I have to know what exactly.
And then you go looking up what actually happens. Yeah, I don't know.
Kofi, we'll drop the call and link after we get to this. We'll have a little bit of a conversation, but I guess if we're making the segue into the actual conversation, I'm inside like Discord groups, like you hear online when you look at like the commentators and shit like that, and I think that we're in an interesting space because of we do recognize that, and this is we as in like quote unquote black people. I don't want to get into like the game that niggas play with all of them. But indigenous, more African, FBA, Pan-African, Hemotep, whatever niggas is identifying at the moment.
I got to ask though, real quick in the comments. I want Kofi and Sharon to share what's the good sources to watch, so maybe we can watch some good sources.
Well, I mean, I don't be watching that shit. I listen to NPR though. I like NPR in the morning.
I listen to a lot of stuff. I look at a lot of different.
But I mean,
stuff.
if you really want to, NPR is going to lean a little. Is going to be leaning a little more liberal anyway. They definitely try to maintain an unbiased. At least that's the best attempt I've seen out of all of the networks I've listened to.
I personally just listen to commentators.
I listen to commentators. And then you see who. Like I watch Fox News.
I watch CNN. I watch like the PBD, and I watch like the hyper like FD signifier. I'll go all the way down the like the extremists on both sides. I watch the news on both sides.
Whatever I suggest, you're not going to watch because y'all against it. I don't know what.
I don't feel like engaging in this conversation as much as like let's talk about like the thing like they're critiquing what we look at where like nobody's saying what we look at. So like it's a frivolous conversation. But to the point of what I was saying, let me see if I can gather my train of thought back. So I'm inside like a lot of these different groups, and because of just where we're at as like Black people, generally speaking, we've recognized a thing that hasn't been working for us, right?
True.
And that is what the Democratic Party has consistently put forward for us. For the masses, most people aren't content with it. And like we can point out different things along the lines over, a long enough period of time to where like this isn't it. I also, but I think that in doing that, I think that that's great. You should do that. I participate in doing it consistently as well. Where we do get lost at, in my opinion, is that because of we don't like what they're doing here, we think the other side is going to do what we want them to do, is going to embrace us with open arms and not use us the same exact way.
Especially when they ain't even they ain't told you nothing that they was gonna do for you.
You just came off the street.
Shit! You just jumped
new
over
niggas.
There. Hey, you ain't doing it.
New niggas over here.
And these niggas ain't new worth a damn. These motherfuckers been sitting there talking shit the whole time too.
Yeah. But so I say that just because of like I've seen people that like they'll be like, I don't fuck with this person because they advocated for Democrats in the last election and shit like that. In which I think that's just a weird way of like thinking and framing, only because of if you're not advocating for independent, you're only advocating for another group that's looking to exploit you as well. And now it just comes down to a difference of opinion inside ideology a little bit, as much as just not like the name calling, like the cooning and shit like that. But saying that to say, what's interesting in my opinion is that we're just falling for the exact same trap that they've laid out for everybody. And when you look at it, you look at the, like, we call it old MAGA now. Laid that trap out for them.
Sit.
Got them rural whites out there. Got them turned up, built up. Drained the swamp. Like they was turned the fuck up, right? Got them. Guess what? No SNAP for you. Guess what? Fuck Medicaid. Like, and now niggas is like, damn, wait. Damn. Like, I thought that you was trying to rock with us. You was gonna get them rich folk out. Forgetting like these are rich folk anyway. Billionaires anyway, right? You was gonna get them rich folk out. He's gonna drain the swamp from corruption. And you was gonna look out for the poor whites, the brother poor whites. And got him. But then you got him. Shout out to all our redneck MAGA supporters that's missing teeth. Like he got y'all. But saying all that, what they call it, meth county, all our meth county whites. But
also hold on before you continue. So like this is the thing, like because in my profession, I would say there are a lot of like MAGA. That was a big thing. That was a big thing. And I talked to some people that I felt like were before you go, because I think you're gonna go to like reasonable MAGA. Okay.
I ain't trying to go to reasonable.
You know they got blue MAGA now too, so
that's cool.
They got all the MAGAs now.
I didn't know they had
like
blue
I think that you can be MAGA and be reasonable. Like I'm not saying he just got all MAGA.
Yeah,
I think that,
but he got them too though. Even the reasonable ones, they got to.
Probably.
Yeah, the ones that I know, like that I can. You know what I mean they got to
possibly.
Yeah.
But then you look at new MAGA. Niggas will throw $200 million to a campaign. Yeah. Niggas will buy a whole social media platform just to impact it. You'll have red dot Indians. I don't know if that's cancelable or not, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But you could have them guys pull up and get all they business bros and all the guys and got him. You'll send niggas out with black eyes in a key and tell them, nigga, you say something else.
Hey, I'm
gonna take your subsidies away.
You know the biggest got him too. I ain't gonna say the biggest one, but one that was a major got him was white women.
Oh yeah.
That was a big got him.
You vote
DEI.
Come on.
Got him. That was a big ass got him.
Got him.
If you look at, I was looking at a chart the other day. They was talking about. They was saying that the people who really it was like education based. It was like talk about the blacks, the whites, the Hispanic, and it was like the people who really like made the big impact was was white women. White women they swung really tough.
Well, white women decide elections. In reality, like who they vote for, like they're the biggest minority that votes. Generally speaking, no matter what we do as black folk, if white women decide the election, they decide the election. Yeah, numbers wise, velocity wise, that's just the reality.
And then the thing is that, and I don't even know if they knew they was the DEI queens. Do you think they knew that?
Nah, they did not know.
They didn't know that.
They was thinking they was better than
DEI queens.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. And then, honestly, I didn't know either.
Honestly, they was the real welfare queens, bro.
Hey,
well, DEI queens. I wouldn't put welfare queen on them, but
I just had to throw that in there. You know, just calling white women welfare queens.
You just trying to.
I get what you saying. I get where you went there, though.
But yeah, no, that was all I was gonna say. Is that like that was he laid out the damn mousetrap on a lot of
a lot of groups, and saying all that to say that I do think that as I'm having like conversations and seeing people have conversations a little bit more. I think that it is important to realize that right now I see a lot of black people championing like the Republican Party as if like they're the actual solution and that they love you now and that they fuck with you and that they're going to be intentional with helping you. And I think that that's such a wild concept. Where like suddenly just because you came over here for free, the party that ain't had your best interest for years either, that harbors the most extremists in the word, what they call them WSs now, that harbors the most of them.
What's that?
White supremacists. Okay. Would suddenly just flip on its head and be like, you know what? I like these new niggas.
So what do you think? So do you want me to give a why I believe?
Why you believe which part
that the black men, and specifically in like our age demographic,
are championing this thing?
Yeah, I think that what we've done is we've gotten to a place where we realize that we're more conservative. So conservative, not saying. See, the thing is, when you get first off, you get mad about once you really internalize the history. You get mad about what you've been seeing from the Democratic Party. You're mad about that. Then while also realizing how conservative you naturally are as well as a man. Comparative to the way that we were kind of brought up. And this is from me speaking from like the single mother upbringing, all of this stuff. And like my
conservative inside, like what regard? Are you talking about like, I think that there's also something that we have to make sure that we differentiate. There's a difference between conservative politics and then conservative, like morals and principles where like, I don't know a lot of black men that are just like, completely against a lot of things that people would call like certain liberal policies that are like hallmarks, like let's say social programming. I don't know of a lot of black men that are against that.
Yeah, but what you'll see is that, and then see in our generation as well, you look at the way with the, let's say quote unquote gender war. right? So that's also going to play a part, because then you look at then a lot of people, you hear them talk about with this gender war conversation, they talk about SNAP benefits and what it did. So that then you blame that on the Democrats as well. So we're piling up at this moment.
But do you think most black men are against SNAP benefits?
I think that no. I think most black men are against the policies and the way that they affected us specifically. Does that make sense? So when they include, of course, the implementation of the SNAP benefits, we talk about government assistance in general, 1965, like what that did to our homes. Mm-hmm. And we look at it as that's a big part of the reason why we are how we are now. Mm-hmm. And so then it goes in, the gender war plays a part, because then we blaming women too, and then they're voting this way. You see what I'm saying? So we're separating ourselves. And when I say we, I'm just saying we as a black man, not necessarily that I'm just like doing that, you know what I mean, on that same shit.
But, you don't like women. I heard that last night.
Say what? Huh? What about a white woman?
No, I said you don't like women.
Oh, okay.
You don't like women. I heard that.
Yeah. Hey, he got that shit off quick. Then call the box and you go co-sign the shit. And I'm sitting here like, this nigga finna walk himself in the box. Yeah. We ain't gonna go there. Go ahead. I think that all of these things kind of contribute to this pullback from the Democratic Party. And the thing is what we don't know, which I think that I agree with you 100%, is that we're not acknowledging the fact is that you don't have to go from there to there thinking, because there'll be no benefit here either. But it's the emotional response to the thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so with all of these things like piling up on the liberal side of things, you know what I mean? Then we got the feminist movement and toxic masculinity and all of this shit, the narcissists, you know what I mean? All this shit that's been like piled onto men in general, because white men are hot as well. But right at this moment, white men are hot as well. But for us, we got the Democratic Party, we got our women, we got, you know what I mean? We done been, niggas is hot right now. And so the emotional response is to go from one place to the other, and you just jumping from one box to the other, which I'm not a nigga that I don't like boxes. I don't think completely liberal, nor do I think completely conservative. I understand I like certain shit on both sides, you know what I mean? And so I kind of just freestyle my shit. I'm not trying to fit into your box, because I don't care nothing about that shit.
I agree with that part for sure.
I personally don't think neither one of the, like, as far as both parties, I've been saying the same thing. Y'all know how I feel about both. I don't care about this put like party side or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like choosing one gang over another gang,
exactly,
instead of just getting out of the gang culture. Like that's really what I believe we should get out of the gang culture. But in reality, the way stuff works is like you choose a side or you choose this other side, and that's pretty much it. Right. More so, what my concern has been is not being able to have the room to be able to be Republican without being questioned as a black person. And I'm not a Republican. I think that
where I agree with this point, and this is where I think that the fair stance is at, right? Where I think that it's great to say black men should be allowed to be Republican. Mm-hmm.
Black women too.
Yeah, black women too.
Yeah.
But like the conversations we be having usually be with black men.
And then it's crazy because if you talk to white people amongst white men and white women, they'll be on either side.
And they got room, and they can be the same family.
Yeah. But at the same time, those family dinners do turn the fuck up too.
Yeah, but they talk, and they still go back to living. Like with us, we can't keep doing these divisions, because within our community, it's like it's a deeper effect. Like with them, they're not marginalized or dealing with any of the stuff, that the circumstances that we've had to deal with in a lot of stuff. They end up going about their day. It's the same way white people can be like around. They can be with their ex who was messing, like they can do situations like your friend they do that. They have
black people be doing messy shit like that.
They have a friend who messed with the ex, and they all be hanging out together happy. We don't do stuff like that. Like, nah,
well, niggas be doing all kinds of shit. As far as that shit, we're definitely more alike than different.
Hey. Messy is a motherfucker. Yeah. But what I was saying is that I think this, like the fair spot, and what we spent a lot of time, like when people were calling us a MAGA podcast and shit like that, was based off of the fact that we do all advocate that it's okay for black men to be Republican.
Oh, for sure.
I also think that, to make sure that I make my stance clear, I think that that's a different stance than saying black men have to be Republican, or you are looked at as a bunch of different labels.
Yeah.
And you can't be trusted.
XYZ. What is it called? The gynocracy and all that too.
All them words that niggas be using. And I think that's the part where don't just completely jump from one slave ship to the other slave ship. And it's okay to be independent. It's okay to be Republican. It's okay to be Democrat. Have your actual reasons, and make sure that you understand why you're voting for whatever reason, and that's cool. But I think that we try to make this whole like on code tribal thing a real thing where we say that and then also say that we're not a monolith, and it becomes like this contradictory circle because of we want all black men to look and think this specific way. If not, we don't leave room for nuance to why a man could be like, I'm a vote.
What experiences did they?
I'm a vote Democrat because of this. I'm a vote Republican because of this.
I mean, if you look at the community, we do that with. But I also want to ask you, what did I say that you didn't agree with? But I was just going to make the statement about the way I answered the question when I was talking about we piling on the Democrats and all that stuff. So it's because you were saying it seemed as though you were saying you agreed with what he was saying, but maybe you had some disagreements with what I was saying. Maybe
I don't know if I made that statement.
No, you didn't make that statement, but I was. That's why I asked. I wanted to see if you had any specific disagreements because I feel like that was I hadn't heard that take before, so like I'll just you know what I mean. I hadn't heard it before.
Quickly recap it again. I don't know if I had a specific disagreement.
No, I would say that like the gender war that plays a part in it
I had already gave like my like the one disagreement that I have would be that sometimes we put all of our like grievances in one bucket and don't understand how to differentiate the differences. But I do think that the push forward is a collective of all those things that you're saying are piled point. And that's where like my response being, I think we got to get out of like this tribal mindset of it has to be this or that because of a person's experiences on just a social level and a political level and like a socioeconomic level can inform their decisions of what they believe is right or wrong. And this is before we get into like some version of needing to paint somebody evil. And that's the thing that I think be the whack shit is that like we just paint niggas evil and disingenuous and like all these weird words where it's like, bro, most people, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think most people are like regular people trying to figure out what they understand through the information that they've been given. And the more information and conversations that they have, it might sway this way, might sway that way. Some people more hard-headed, but generally I think most people aren't operating out of this evil, like I gotta undermine the black community. I'm looking to do but like so much of the conversation around you, like, you're a this thing.
Bro, I swear to God, as it relates, so like this was a big because I don't mind. I talk to like the older folk. And most of the older folk in our community are definitely hard Democrat, right? And so when I like the idea of like to me, he's the racist and he's the da-da-da. At the end of the day, I'm not saying whether he is or not, but I know that pretty much all of them are. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's racist or they're prejudiced, there's some of those things are in there just because they're not accustomed to the day-to-day
and you're talking about like the black-white thing, right?
Yeah. Like yeah.
And to me, like even before we get there, what we do just inside like our community is we put we put evil on shit. Yeah. We put like that's why again, like you will never see me calling somebody a coon or a tether. Like I'll put it in context of like they said these da-da-da-da-da, or I'll make it like a silly joke or something like that. But I think that when you start doing like these blanket weird statements, it takes away so much like actual personal perspective and nuance. So like when you I don't know of a lot of like evil people that I've sat down and had long form conversations and been like, oh, you know what? You just are evil, right? Yeah. Especially speaking black people. Like I ain't gonna like put this all the way to like the Nick Fuentes people and shit like that. But for most black people, it's just that you have an ideological split on how to get somewhere. And niggas start like fighting and infighting off of like the split to get to this goal instead of understanding
the goal is the same goal.
Like and then everybody want to ride the same road. You could like sometimes you could take the street and somebody else took the highway.
Somebody rode a bike
and somebody rode a bike and took a train and y'all met right at that same point. And that's what niggas don't be understanding. My opinion.
And you know something too, bro. I think that it's just kind of how we like the whole active black thing, or like the snitching thing, or like a lot of the things, a lot of the ideas that we go within the community.
Keep that thought. Don't forget. Hey, Tone, as he's doing this, could you drop the calling link so that I feel like you're about to make a point to where we can let it load into it. Go ahead.
All right.
But yeah, I think that like we have like a tribal, because we feel that there's so much against us. We have this tribalism, and then if you're going against what was this general consensus of the right for the tribe, then you're definitely going to be demonized for that, because it's almost like the feel is like you're abandoning the culture,
right?
You know what I mean? And I think that like we're not to say like, of course, the systematic racism, it's all these things still exist. But what I would say now is that a lot more of us are product of our own decision making than it is. I'm gonna say a lot more of us are a product of our own decision making, or the decision making of our parents, than it is going to be like the system itself that hindered you and kept you down. Well, like I know for something as simple as where your parents choose to raise you, just the state or the city. You know what I mean? We could have literally just been town. Or the town, like you literally, like, bro, when I tell you being in the military, generally when you go to a military town, it's almost like a HBCU. It's in poverty is all around it, right? So you go to this military town, and these people just live there in this place, and all of the women around there wanted they to do it in the military. Everybody, the dudes in the military are the thing. Everybody else got some piranhas. Small, you know what I mean?
You ever been hit by one of them small town piranhas?
Hey, we ain't getting it all. Oh man, personal shit.
Look like we got a couple call-ins starting to fill in. Right. Yeah, starting with Steve. Brother Steve, what's going on, man?
What up? Yo, what's good? What's good?
In my opinion, I think that Steve is going to say at one point, he's going to say we got to be factually accurate.
We pretty good. We doing pretty good.
Okay.
Kofi just going too crazy on everybody asking, questions around.
Just
here,
asking questions, yeah.
But
I ain't been able to read the whole chat. Kofi, call in, bro. We gotta get you up here. Talk to us, brother.
I think a part of the confusion with specifically talking about black people, politics, is that from an economic standpoint, there's no denial that black people agree with democratic economic policy,
right?
Overwhelmingly. You could go look up any poll, any Pew Research. You ask anything about taxing the rich, expansion of the welfare state, whatever. Black folks is largely on board with that, and it's not even close. The issue with Democrats is because they can't really run on that stuff, because that's in conflict with the corporate element of the Democratic Party.
Right.
So Democrats can't really run on that stuff and advocate for that stuff because that's in conflict with the corporate element of their party. So instead, what they choose to run on is cultural issues. And running on cultural issues can't be primary. They have to be secondary to the economic issues. And so a lot of the disillusionment that people have with the Democratic Party, and you even if you really go talk to white people who used to be Democrats and why they not Democrats no more, their disillusionment with the Democrats is because they have shied away from economic populism. The Democrat Party, what made them popular was that they were an economically populist working class party.
Right.
And until Democrats choose what type of lane they want to go into, they're gonna continue to struggle each and every election. Because if you're not gonna if you're not gonna make me whole economically, then I'm gonna go vote on this reactionary cultural issues that I feel some type of way about, instead of actually voting on the economic policy that make my life better.
Now this is 100%. This is what I don't know if you've seen Bernie Sanders. He was on Flagrant 2, the Andrew Schultz show. He was speaking to this, in which how the Democrats have, like, they're almost taken hostage by the corporate, like the corporate class, and it fucks them from doing pretty much anything that's actually going to be beneficial, especially when we talk about winning back the people that they're losing.
And we need to be very clear about conservative politics and stop sugarcoating it. Conservative politics have been a abject failure in the United States. Trickle down didn't work. Deregulation didn't work. Laissez-faire capitalism did not work. Laissez-faire capitalism got us to 1929 Great Depression. So, like, we need to dispel that notion of right-wing economic thinking, because we've done all of that stuff, and all of that stuff have led us into depression.
Hey Steve,
all types of stuff.
It seemed like wasn't the depression is the lead. That was where they implemented the government assistance program because of the depression. Which
Steve, tell them why we all need to be socialists.
I mean, if you think about what it means to actually be a socialist, or even first, let's give you it's a scale. So you either got the slide.
Are you like democratic socialist?
I mean, you could say that.
Okay.
I'm further politically.
Oh damn! You don't think that niggas should have good housing? What was it that we was talking about?
You said niggas should have good housing.
Y'all misrepresent the argument. But,
all right. Let me not joke. Go ahead.
But on the scale of how a political theory work or whatever, I mean, you can go from slavery all the way to full out communism. That's the scale, right?
Right.
And somewhere along that scale, we need to choose where we want to be. We're not in slavery no more, and obviously we're not in communism. We somewhere in the middle, or somewhere further along, hopefully the middle. But if we talking about what it means to be like actually a socialist, because a lot of people got these weird ideas in their head what it means. It means for the citizens to own the means of production. What does that mean for the citizens to own the means of production? That means for every drop of oil that our country that we live in, that we pump out the ground, every citizen should benefit from that oil. You should not be able to privately own natural resources. You should not be able to privately own water. But
hey Steve, give us like a 30-second finish to it. We starting to pile up niggas in the back. Pause.
And I don't we ain't doing none of
that. My bad. Go ahead, Steve.
And I just want to say this. I obviously know I can't add, it's hard because there has been a lot of propaganda around more left-wing economics. But if we can just focus on our class, our actual class position that we are in as Black people, and vote for politics that that change our class position instead of voting on politics, because the Democrats is not doing it. As much as Kofi and everybody else in this chat want to defend Democrats, the Democrats gave you Uber, they gave you all of these gig job economies and destroyed real work. So why are we advocating for them?
Gotcha. Hey, appreciate you, Steve.
I appreciate you, Steve. I fuck with you.
We might have another call-in section towards the end of the show. Yeah, stick around, bro. We appreciate the commentary in the chat.
For sure.
Yep. What I will say is that Steve, I typically agree with a lot of what Steve says. I think that at times he does go further than I do. Like, if I'm going to push a policy, in which he said that he's kind of like, I'm more social democrat, which is like, it's socialism that still incorporates parts of capitalism. That's probably closer to where I personally land when I'm not like making jokes and shit like that. Big Dave, talk to us, dog.
What up, Dave-O?
Did Dave turn his camera off as soon as he seen this?
Yeah, we. I was about to say they had a camera on the whole time. Otherwise,
yeah, I think you kind of breaking up a little bit now. We can't really hear you. Yeah.
Damn.
Hey Dave, we're gonna take you down, and then damn, that's crazy.
Like, that's all. Like, bro, what is your problem today, bro?
What was that? I missed it.
Oh yeah, now he look like he might be good. Now, what up, Dave?
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay, what's up? I hope y'all ain't got no niggas piled up in the back, bro. What y'all be?
How you gonna say real? That was cute. He said that shit.
No Diddy.
All right, the show. Nah, I was saying, I was just thinking, I ain't catch nothing but the end of this, really. So, but gathering from what y'all are saying, I did have a question, like going back to something real said, like the no snitching thing. So it's kind of like I've been tripping on this. I'm like, okay, I feel like, first of all, just to frame the question, snitching to me, in my opinion, just feels like if it's like something that was conspired as a group from the get-go, and then y'all get into the situation and then it doesn't work out, and now you're worried about who's gonna snitch or not. That's snitching. But I feel like things like in the work field and all of that stuff, you know, we got to differentiate, you know, when that exists. You know, what am I going to be loyal to? Like, my question is, like, what do you feel like as Black people, for if we're trying to move forward with this progression, what do you feel like it is that we do owe each other or don't owe each other to have enough energy behind this whole snitching aspect? You know what I mean? Because it's like everything is not even a scenario that even, you know, this is not even a situation where snitching is even anything we should be thinking about. It's like we're at work or we're in a marriage or we're.
You had said something about snitching?
Yeah, it was when I was talking about, what was it that talking about the pretty much your own code. Remember you mentioned the own code, okay. And yeah. I mean that's one of them rough ones. So like you at work, right? Mm-hmm. And buddy over there doing some shit. Or let's just say this: you in a group. It's a group effort, right? It's a collective effort to accomplish a goal. Okay. And because this guy here or this girl here is not holding up her end of the bargain, but we're gonna still get the same grade, right? Or let's say like like a project at work. You understand what I'm saying? Are you following?
Yeah.
So at what point is it okay? Because like, of course, we come from a culture of no snitching. Regardless, we still look at that as snitching. Generally speaking, I ain't never been to work where it's like, oh yeah, if you go and tell on bro, that's not snitching. You still call the snitch at the workplace. You still call the snitch if it's in the neighborhood. No matter where it is, the collective understanding that we grew up on was that if you tell it on someone, and they get to about something that they're doing wrong, it could literally be wrong, but you're still a snitch. So where would you draw the line there? I think that's what he's asking.
Where would I draw?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'll start with the scenario that you said, and then I'll try and push it to just the general conversation of snitching. The scenario that you said that everybody gets the same grade. This one person didn't do any part of the assignment. And if somebody told on them, would that be snitching? And should like I get upset about it?
No, would you tell them if their lack of contributing is going to hinder the collective outcome?
Oh, then as an adult, hell yeah. Fuck you get like, bro, like that shit's stupid. Like you talking about like somebody like. Let's just put this into like actuality. We're building a house and a nigga getting paid while he at the house, and like meaning like he ain't get out the bed, but we all laying concrete and putting nails in wood and shit like that. But when the paycheck come, he still get them dollars. Fuck no, I'm a snitch. Like I'm saying, hey, we built this shit. This nigga did not build shit. Like, this shit don't make no damn sense. I think that we
right.
like,
what do I even owe you? What do I even owe you if I'm making your shit?
I don't know you shit. That's damn. I actually got a meme that deals with this. Hopefully we can get to that. But yeah, I think that we are brainwashed into detrimental ideologies that don't benefit us, that are based off of codes that we shouldn't be attempting to live by.
Yeah, that was some mob shit. Right. That was the mob. We ain't in the mob.
Bro, if you are a civilian, like I don't think that you're snitching. Right. If you see somebody get killed, like I don't think that is negative if you go say, nah, somebody got killed. I seen who did it, and it was this person. I'd rather that person that's killing people be in jail, bro. I think that it's snitching if you are involved in like y'all are killing each other, and then just because of one of your people get killed, now you go tell, then that's different. But if you're just somebody that's regular, I don't think so. And this is the nasty part about like a lot of that no snitching and street shit. This is kind of what Homeboy was saying, that it's Grits and Eggs podcast, maybe. Where the reality is that a lot of these people that are like upholding the street rules, they want niggas to uphold street rules while also simultaneously breaking them. So like if
they want you to uphold it because they the ones
right. Like so if I hopped in the car with you because
you can get out of the way.
Right. Because of like the reality would be if I'm not involved in bullshit, don't bring me around bullshit. Like, why the fuck do I gotta uphold your street rules when I'm trying to be a civilian? You pick me up from work, and you got work in the car. We get pulled over. You say, I don't know. Now, if I say that, I'm a snitch. No, nigga,
nah, bro.
That's your shit. Like, what the fuck I look like?
I'm gonna add Johnny P to the stage.
Okay. All
right, shout Dave. Look,
hey, back and we backstage. My bad. Backstage, we still bringing up people, but John, I heard you was out there in them LA protests. You out here invading protesting
I was just watching, man. I was just watching. Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm delineating from that one. I'm over there. I'm over there. It was crazy though. Right when I got out there, I just left downtown and this shit went down.
Oh damn! You did see some of it. You did see some of it.
No, I'm talking about it. I missed it. I missed it by about an hour or so. Yeah. No. They say it was going down. I'm back in Dago now, so I'm safe.
How far is San Diego from
Dago?
How far is San Diego from
oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you what it's about an hour and a half. It ain't too far.
Okay. It ain't bad at all.
It ain't too
Johnny,
yeah, no,
we gotta
Johnny is here as a host.
All right, Johnny, we gonna keep you up and continue the conversation with you in a second. We got a couple people backstage that we want to get up before we move the conversation along.
Oh yeah, I'm just tapping in. I may have to roll in a second. I'm gonna get back in the car, but I'll tap in once I get back to the house.
Okay, all right. Well, did you got anything quick you wanted to get off?
I felt what Rail said about why we doing what we doing as far as when it comes to MAGA or the Republican part, because I think a lot of us naturally are conservative, but it don't necessarily mean we just got to run to the other side and give them our vote or give them our support for free also. So I've always been a big advocate of the independent movement. But I'm mad I missed this one, man. Y'all having a good conversation. I've been tapping in.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Don't worry, I saved the box for you next week too. I got a box for you next week.
Oh no, I'm ready for that. You can't put water in the box.
I saved it, bro.
Hey, you can't put water in the box. Hey, I love y'all boys, man.
All right, be safe out there. Let's bring up our guy.
What up, Kofi?
What's up to the panel? What's up? Peace. I know things get misconstrued in a text or whatever, but I got things I want to say, but I don't know if you guys want to ask me anything for clarification that that you probably didn't understand where I was coming from, but I mean, you do it.
As you talking out, like we'll kind of like stop at points and yeah.
So I mean, I gotta say something about Steve because Steve called me out saying I'm wilding and all this other stuff. But he said what he did say. I do agree, but again, he's trying to say that Dems play identity politics, and I kind of find that insane because he even mentioned that Republicans they're doing that right now in our face. You know what I'm saying? Right now, as far as like identity politics, Republicans took away Roe versus Wade. They took away a women's choice to choose. Donald Trump is calling them Mexicans.
Let me ask you this, because I think we all agree with where you're going. But I don't think Steve made a point that the Republicans don't play identity politics.
I'm saying that only because he went on a tangent about how Democrats did. So I'm just going on the other side of the coin. That's all that I'm doing.
This be the thing, and I think that this is how you'll get to calling us MAGA, right? The thing is that because I'm talking about bro right here, I don't have to be talking about bro over here too. I can just talk about him real quick. Let me just talk about this person as an individual and just talk about this. Does that make sense? So like we don't have to, just because I'm saying something about him don't mean that I'm leaving him like he's good. It just means we talking about him right now. Does that make sense?
I get it. But we're talking about a coin here, and there's always two sides of the coin. If you're talking about just heads and everyone just ignored tails, you know what I'm saying? You have that comes into question.
So, but let me ask you this: do you think that we could have a conversation? Because we did this too. When you called us MAGA, we were having a conversation about or about Democrats. So, this was a while back. We were talking about Democrats, but we also had a segment where we just talked about Republicans. So, would you be okay with us having a conversation where we were just talking about critiquing Republicans?
Well, I was part of both those conversations when we had an on conversation about what's wrong with Democrats and talk about what's good and what's wrong with the Democratic Party. We had a conversation about that, same as Republicans. I was part of both of those conversations. But when
I think he's talking about on this podcast today. Like we had a little bit of a critique of Democrats, and then we critiqued Republicans as well. I think that was the framework of what you were saying, right?
Right, because we actually started out critiquing Republicans and then started critiquing
Democrats and then went back to
a little bit. That's what you call it. Like I guess if you want to say that. The only pushback when I came in on here that I had, it was the whole thing about Elon, when you were basically saying, "Hey, look, okay, Elon gave Trump $200 million. What does that mean?" And that's kind of like, huh? What you mean? What does that mean? I don't understand.
So Kobe, did you understand like the whole soliloquy that I gave, where I talked about poor whites, I talked about like black people that are advocating to go to the Republican Party, and even the technocrats, how the reality is that the Republican Party all wants to exploit you also. Like that's the framework of this conversation.
We talked about the white women too.
Yeah, and also the white women. How
but
like, the Republican Party
about what Rel said, because I responded to directly what Rel said when I was saying that that Elon gave Trump money for his campaign. And then Rel said, okay, what does that really mean? So that's what I was responding to, and everyone kind of misunderstood, except for Sharon. She understood what I was saying. Everybody else didn't understand what I was saying.
No, I think that you were misinterpreting my intent, because the tone and what the tone that I was using wasn't the tone that you were just using. I was actually asking a good faith question, like where did this money go, and like what do you think how did that money influence the election? Not like in the tone of where it's like, well, that doesn't mean anything, or what does that mean? Not in a dismissive tone. I was actually asking a genuine question of where do we think that these funds were allocated to influence the election.
Well, I can answer that, and it's just how basically all the elections work. You pay to play, and Donald Trump is king of that. You know what I'm saying? You pay to play. So Elon wanted to be part of the government. He gave him all this money, and that's how Doge came about. Even though Doge is not even a part of the government, it's supposed to only be an advisory branch of the government, but it's a part of the government. Elon went in there kicking people out of government buildings, government places, got our email address, got like 18, 19-year-olds, minions there called big balls, and they got people's social security numbers. So you pay to play.
Them young boys. He brought them young tech niggas in there wilding. But Kofi, to be fair though, you are saying exactly what I said.
Exactly. I was just gonna let it rock, but that's exactly.
I'm not saying that's what you were saying. Now that Rel cleared it up in the context of how he asked the question, then I understand now. I'm not, really pushing against that. But in the beginning, when the whole thing, when it comes to Steve, when he was just basically saying about the Democrats, he went on the tangent about the Democrats. No one cut him off. He was allowed to cook and serve dessert. Me, I get cut off at the appetizer. Like,
well, Kofi, you said, did we have questions for you? And then I said, well, we'll just chop down what you're saying, because we didn't have specific questions for you. He didn't give like that, so we just let him cook. Do you want we can give you like another minute and a half of a full runway, or we can kind of have the back and forth discussion. It's up to you.
No, basically, I just want to just address what Steve said for those who may know or may not know, as far as what the Republicans is doing. Is that they right now they are doing identity politics to the fullest, where no Democrat has done ever. You know what I'm saying? As far as especially this administration doing DEI, taking credit of Roe versus Wade, Trump saying that Haitians eating cats and dogs, taking away black people out of the military, taking black people off of military sites. You know what I'm saying? Taking disbanding the Black Smithsonian, the Black Museum. Like, how is that comparable to what Democrats is doing? And to overlook all of that and just say, well, the Democrats play identity politics, it's like really, I don't understand, how he could say something like that. And another thing I asked in the question, and then I guess you can answer this question, or you guys ask me a question. Q, you said something about there's nothing wrong. I'm not demonizing anybody for being whatever political party that you are. If I don't
Kofi.
agree with it, my question would be like, okay, what benefit is that to you? So when you said earlier, well, there's nothing wrong with being a Republican. So I'm like, okay, fine. I say, so what is wrong? Okay, there's nothing wrong being a Republican. Show me a pro-black Republican and what benefits does the Republican Party have for black people? I don't know any pro-black dominant Republican that's a black person in the Republican space. So what's the benefit of a black person being a Republican? You can do that on the Democrat side. You can do that on the independent side. You can't do that in the Republican space.
And you're saying that pretty much your question is what has Republicans done for black people specifically?
No, he's saying how can you be pro-black and a Republican?
Yeah, okay. Pro-black and a Republican. It'll be tough for me. I'm not a Republican. But I would assume that number one, that your base, your background doesn't come from probably the same that majority of us would come from the level of poverty that would excuse me, that we normally come from. You probably didn't come from that background. I would assume that would be the case.
What do you mean? Break that down. And I can.
What I'm saying is that your upbringing is not one of the average income of the individuals around you that look like you. Or that you weren't around the individuals who have that same floor or that same ceiling at the time. Does that make sense? I think you understood what I was saying. But you just asking that shit. So you didn't come from poverty. You weren't raised in the hood. So I would assume because when you're raised in the hood, you're naturally going to be. No. Yes and no. What? What are you talking about? You just asked me. So what do I think of?
That I didn't come from poverty. So
I'm not talking about you.
He's not speaking about you specifically.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the individual who would be a black Republican probably doesn't come from the same place that a majority of us come from.
I don't even know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I would assume if because generally you're going to be more conservative as far as like government assistance and these different benefits. You wouldn't have been a person to have been your best friend next door and your parents and all of the people around you.
I think right now we're seeing a lot of like black men that have the quote unquote converting that don't necessarily have that ilk.
I don't really
but a lot of it ends up being like what you said earlier when you see the gynocracy stack on with the food stamps with this and this and this. And this
okay. Yeah.
And they just go the opposite way.
And they just run the opposite way. But if I was to answer your question, I think that a person being black and Republican and in a good faith way, and Unk's on here, so he's a black Republican as well. But I think that it all deals with like how you view politics and how you view the roadmap for black people to get success in America. And I think that like
the bootstrap theory versus the
a lot of people are against social programming. Right. And I think that though we all can disagree with like different versions of what we think can and will work, I think what's most divisive and unproductive is this. If we demonize the other side as like, you shouldn't do this, one, you're going to create way more of that thing. That these people are illicitly evil or ignorant. That's not
what I'm saying. I'm asking
I'm not
why. Yeah. Why? What?
Well, so do you accept what I just said?
In Republican space, show me a pro-black Republican that's in the Republican space. We can show you many examples of that on the Democratic side, the independent side, but you cannot see that in the Republican space. And for the
I don't know what you're about to say. Like you have to explain what you mean by like a Republican space. Like so somebody that is pro-black that votes Republican. Like I can name people. I can name people that do that, but aren't like a famous person. Maybe like I don't really know what you're talking about.
I think the question that comes up for me is, what does it mean when you're saying pro-black? Like, what do you mean by pro-black? Because like if you're black and you have a family, I believe you would be pro your family, like especially if your family is also black children and stuff like that.
Well, I don't know about
the reason I'm asking that is because I think like to insinuate that somebody can't be for their people because they chose to go with this party, like that's.
Well, I agree with that part.
That's still the part I don't understand. I don't like.
Well, that's where what I'm saying is that I think that it just comes down to what version of politics, to the place. Yeah, it's the roadmap, like. How do you? I think that most people are all for the progress of, like, especially if you're black, progress of black people in the black community. Sure. A lot of people go and I think that like you can go stats, academics, XYZ. there's good arguments to be made on both sides
for sure.
The moment that we think that there aren't good arguments, I think that's when we get into like this tribal warfare. Is there a better way to get there? I think that sure, and through conversation, hopefully we find that. But go ahead, Coach.
No one's answering my question. Everyone's just giving me talking points.
All right, so Kofi, if you're asking like a specific person, like we don't deal in like famous people, so I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Let me break down what I'm trying to say. So there's people in the Democratic Party as far as like having like a government office, a governor, a senator, a congressman, right? Then you have also the individual people that also vote. So I'm saying, of course, you're going to have people that the everyday people also vote that say they're Republican, right? That vote. If they're pro-black or not, I don't know. All I know, the black people that hold office, right, whether it be governor, mayoral, or a congressman, they aren't pro-black people. So that really tells you in this space, especially with the rhetoric that they have, there's no space for pro-blackness, just white capitulation. But you could do that.
On both. And do you believe that on both parties like that? Do you believe that there are no pro-black Democrats also?
Yes, of course. There's no pro-black Democrats. Yes.
Okay,
but the only difference is there's a space for pro-black people in the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party. That's also.
I don't know because like all the FBA and like the new black like movement people, they're all inside. If you take it inside as best faith as you can get to, because we all understand and involved in conversations with like the more extremist piece, but. Like they identify as black conservative and Republican a lot of times and are for the progress of black people.
Which is an oxymoron because the reason why I say it's an oxymoron is because if you're for the progress of black people, it's like saying, you know what, we on the plantation, I want to get my people out of slavery, right? But you're fixing the fence and you're doing everything master tell you to do. Like it doesn't make no sense. What you're saying and what you do are two different things. You're with the party that is for denigrating black people. So how are you with a party that is outright denigrating black people?
But then there's a big pushback. There's a big pushback to say the exact same thing.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like now we're having a talking point conversation.
And that be the thing. Like one of the things is like when people got the answer.
What?
Right.
That's what it is. We get it, bro. You got the answer, bro.
Democratic Party. What white nationalists have voted for the Democratic Party? Go.
Bro, I don't know, bro.
Okay,
so I do the KKK come from the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I guess you could use David Duke. Did.
All white nationalist party, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, everyone that did January 6th, all these people support Trump.
You know the KKK originated from the Democratic Party, right?
The Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party are for the elevation of non-white people and whatever they're going for. So like what? So that's the answer.
You do know the KKK originated from the Democratic Party, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then when I say you guys are MAGA, then you say that. So when you're saying
I'm saying the KKK literally came from the Democratic Party.
Because that's your only talking point. Then again, either you don't know the history or you're trying to muddy up the waters of history.
Okay, so if I don't know the history,
there's something called the Southern Stretch, the Southern Strategy. If you understand the Southern Strategy, that's when they
talk about how they switch parties.
They switch parties. So you just saying there used to be Democrats, right? You don't understand the history. Look up the Southern Strategy. If I'm lying,
I know what you're talking about, and it wasn't no party switch. I'm not going to argue about this. We can I would rather talk about facts. I don't think there's anything to argue about because we could both be misconstrued somewhere.
I think Biden was a fairly racist white.
Calling niggas roaches and all kind of shit.
Yeah, didn't he go to that the Grand Master dude's funeral and he did the eulogy?
Hey.
But nonetheless, Kofi, we appreciate you. Hopefully, we'll have some time at the end. Rejoin whatchamacallit. Yes, sir. We got Unc really quickly.
I was gonna go into how Doge was invented by Obama too, but I ain't want to keep going there. It was called the USDS before Doge.
Well, it was before Obama too.
It was in 2014. That was during Obama.
Well, no, I'm saying Clinton had a very similar.
Something else. So it was like it's
But this is where like I don't want to get too deep into like the back and forth talking point.
Yeah, like to pick a side. That's what it is. It's like pick a side and then just
Yeah, you got to
I
don't
got to figure it out. And they ain't got no. I'm like, I just don't. I don't wholeheartedly trust in any of these people. Is my whole thing.
Hey Tone, if you could put up on the side, once you pull up Unc, and then we could do Chikwe. Go to Google and put in timer. Yeah. And we'll give everybody about a good 2.
Put up the time.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, just saying that to say because we done went a little long. Beauty is that we only got one more question left. So we actually kind of good.
I kind of thought we did all the questions.
What was your question?
Let me see. What the fuck was my question?
All right. Either way, it sound like either way we gonna figure it out. You got 2 minutes. Tell us what we ain't got right.
What up, siding with old head for no reason last night. He acting like he called me a saver and everything. I was saving O's and everything last night.
You was a saver.
I was saying, hey, save man. But go ahead. What up?
I feel like this. People want to argue and people want to be right. And just because somebody think they went and got an education to where that makes them right on everything, your education doesn't make you right on everything that you do. And something that people need to do is something called mind your own damn business. Don't worry about what party politically I'm in. Whatever I do is for me. It doesn't hurt you and it doesn't benefit you. You are a grown-ass man. You had kids. Raise them. I don't need no raising. I don't need nobody to tell me what political party I need to be in, the reason why I'm in it, how it hurt. How does it hurt you? Go have a beer somewhere, sit your ass down and mind your own business. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me that you're a Democrat. It doesn't affect me if you want to call yourself a constitutionalist or anything. What the hell does it affect me? Why is it that people always get mad when somebody don't agree with everything they have to say? That's why we live in America. That's something that people need to understand. We are in America. We don't have to all follow the same thing. We have our own minds and we can do whatever we want to do. But when you come and think that you can tell everybody what they want to do because it's what you believe in, you are a nosy ass motherfucker.
Go crazy. You got 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds.
I love everybody. I respect everybody, and I respect whatever you say. I can care less what you say. You can say I'm a professional ass scratcher. That's your business.
Just don't touch me.
Keep your damn hands.
I still love you. I got them throw you a peace sign, but I ain't gonna touch you now.
All right. You hit the timer right on time. Appreciate you.
Love you, baby.
Yep. Love y'all.
All right, Chikwe. You get the finish up.
Did he say it was Chuku, right?
Oh, probably Chuku. I've been saying Chuck lately. I think that when he said that, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
Chuck, talk to us, brother.
Salute. Thanks for having me up on the panel.
Yes, sir.
I agree with Kofi on a lot of things, but I disagree with his whole political worldview. I think when it comes to politics, I don't think there is any political solutions for the Black community. I think our solutions are all going to be economic and family dynamic. So focusing on this candidate in office is going to change our lives is a mistake.
For this party. Mm-hmm.
This party, or we have to support this party for us to do better. This two-party system isn't really designed to help Black people. So, whether you vote Democrat or Republican, it's not going to have a lift all boats effect for Black people, is what I'm saying. Like, I lean conservative. Mm-hmm. I tend to agree more with what the conservatives have to say, but I don't trust the Republican Party. I don't trust Trump. I vote based on policy. So that's that works for me. But I'm not disillusioned that, if I vote Republican, all Black people are going to benefit. And I don't think there is a unified Black community with unified interests. I don't think all Black people are going to be Democrat or Republican. I think.
Hey, Chuck, let me ask you this question. Have you ever voted Republican?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Well, it sounded like he said he was more conservative. Have you ever voted Democrat?
I have. I voted for Obama the first time. Yeah.
Was it outside of Obama? Have you ever voted Democrat?
You calling you old, dog?
No. I'm just saying Obama was like one of the gimmies for us. The black folk for Obama, everybody, everybody voted for Obama.
I guess you could have did Hillary or
anybody.
Biden.
Yeah, was there anybody else that you would have voted?
No, I wasn't eligible to vote before Obama. So yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but
he was calling you old, dog.
I don't know how old he is. You know what I mean?
But I hear these people stressing about politics so much, but I don't see any political solutions. It's all going to be
30 seconds
development. You see what I'm saying? And this whole dividing people based on politics, I just see it as a divide and conquer strategy. I think Black people should not divide ourselves on politics. But it seems like that in this political atmosphere, that's what's happening.
Right.
Chuck, I got a question for you, because you usually said something and actually this is the second time I heard you say. I think you said this on Wednesday too. I believe you called it Wednesday. Here recently, I heard you say this, and Q has the same perspective as it's like the individual. It's like you sound like I can't, not verbatim. You were saying pretty much you focus on yourself, and that is the way that we'll get better. I feel like I've heard you say that twice.
He said economically and family wise.
No. I'm talking about not here just a second ago. Just go ahead. Do you remember saying something like that? Or is that something that you believe? Because I feel like you said that twice.
A group is only as strong as its individual. So when individuals develop themselves, they benefit the whole group. So I think there has to be a focus on personal self-development. And then once we each individually put our house in order, then we can unify. You see what I'm saying? I think you gotta bring yourself up, and then we could work as a group after we're each pick ourselves up a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
Fundamentally, that's the difference between like wanting to vote Republican and
conservative versus liberal.
Yeah, liberal. Like there's social programming and there's individual autonomy.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't necessarily. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand like, okay, you work on yourself. If everybody work on themselves, they get better. Then that means their houses will be better. Then if we come together, we would actually have a better sense of together, or not even togetherness. We would just have a lot more strength, I guess. Me myself, like I kind of believe, I understand and comprehend the idea, but
your conservative ass is a social liberal.
No, I when you said that earlier, I was like, yeah, no, I am more community based. Like I understand, like as an individual, but the thing is to think that each individual Black person is going to get themselves to this socioeconomic position and this education level and and all this stuff. You know how long that will fucking probably take for us to get to that place. So using that as the logic, I believe that you probably talking about a century or some away for us to even get started.
One last thing I want to mention, I think that one of the reasons why we have some inequality is because not everybody's equally productive. I think we have to focus. This is why we have to focus more on personal self-development, skills development, entrepreneurialism, and to increase our productivity. So I think the only real power is economic power. We need to focus on economic power, because you could use economic power to buy political power, but you cannot convert political power to economic power. So economics has to be your foundation, and that's it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not debating appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
It looked like we might have had a rejoin in the back. Yeah, if y'all want to give him a quick little minute.
Again. Oh no, did he just go? Oh yeah, there you go.
Want to give him a quick minute, then we'll hop to the thing. Put a minute on the timer. We quiet. I'm gonna let you get your minute off.
I'm back. So just to address Kofi, I do find it strange that he is able to have this accurate critique of the Republican Party, but he can't, like, he keep telling us vote Democrat, vote Democrat, vote Democrat. But if the end economic position is the same for Black people, because y'all talking about all this stuff we see on TV, whatever, but we still poor, we still poor, and we at the bottom when we vote for the Democrats, right? And you say, well, it's nothing they really could do about that. Yes, it is. Because literally the first thing Obama did when he became the president was he handed over so much power to the financial sector, private businesses, to actually destroy, like I said earlier, labor. And I'm not dealing with Kofi no more, because he just a liberal. That's what he gonna be. There's nothing I can do to change his mind. But I do want to push back on Chuck and say, I do find it strange that when it comes to Black people and the upliftment of the Black people, all of a sudden it's do for self, when historically we can look at example after example where the government ensured the status of the white family, ensured the economic position of the white man. So even when people talk about Malcolm X and his do for self, I'm gonna finish with this. I really want people to interrogate what Malcolm X was talking about, and when he was saying do for self, he wasn't saying do for self without the government giving you stuff or helping you. He believed we was entitled to every program in this, that the United States offered as well. Too many people misappropriate Malcolm X and use him to push rugged individualism, which that's what we currently in, and that's not working. And I got one more point. That's it. It's gonna take 30 seconds. The
30 seconds
idea
to
that the
5 seconds is crazy.
This it. I want y'all to ask this question. He said the reason we have inequality is because some people are more productive than others. The work they do is more productive than others. I want you to ask yourself this question. Which one is more productive for society? A person who pick up trash every day, or a nigga who punch numbers on a computer at Wall Street? And do the amount of money
100.
dictate, and does the amount of money mean that the nigga who push numbers
productive
on Wall Street mean he more productive than the nigga who pick up trash every day? That's not.
I call that a motherfucking box. I feel the same way. That whole pushing like the. Go ahead. You said better than that.
I just want to push back on a couple of these like things that we say that sound good in theory. Like, oh well, if you was really productive, you would make a lot of money. When in reality, we have an economy that's rigged towards rewarding. It actually rewards the people who not only are unproductive, but it rewards the people who destroy the wealth of the bottom 90%.
Hey Steve, you cooking?
Hey Steve cooking, bro.
Hey, but that's that baby canola oil over there.
Yeah, we got
some goddamn canola oil in the air, in a deep fryer, crock pot.
Kofi, we hopefully we have a little time at the end to allow you a fair rebuttal. But we gotta hop into this meme section.
Yeah.
I said a crock pot. That's how you know I don't cook shit. I don't think you put
hibachi, bro. Like sizzle.
Hold on. You
hey, oh yeah, I'm in there. Get your
nigga, everybody. Damn.
Yeah, I'm first.
That nigga Tone been waiting to go first. He been waiting 5 seasons.
y'all figure it out between the two of y'all.
Nigga said I'm first.
Y'all figure it out between the two of y'all.
Waiting 5 seasons. But man, I'll go last.
Okay.
All right. This was interesting.
Shouts to Johnny.
I got a few in here, but this is interesting though.
May it please the court. I come here today a humble pro se before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this hold on? Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
I'm sorry?
I generated that. That is not a real person.
Oh shit.
Okay. It would have been nice to know that when you made your application. You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally. In the past, you have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes. Okay? I don't appreciate being misled. So either you are suffering from an ailment that prevents you from being able to articulate, or you don't. You are not going to use this courtroom as a launch for your business, sir. So if you are able to shut that off. If you want to have oral argument time, you may stand up and give it to me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that there. I thought, like when I was sitting there thinking about it, I'm like, out of all the stuff you can use AI for, why you can't use it for your lawyer?
Nah, fuck that, bro. No, that was a lawyer. That was an attorney using AI.
I don't know if he was actually an attorney.
Yeah, that was an attorney because she said that he had went to the office and all shit.
I think it was his case, and he had been communicating with them verbally. But then when it came time for the thing, he used this AI for his attorney. But either way, if like your choice of representation, if you can use it for like, should AI be allowed to use for representation?
Bro, we can't let this AI shit go all the way out the. You know what I mean? We can't OD.
Yeah, they passed that big beautiful bill.
Oh yeah, they passed the beautiful bill. And damn sure we got a dime. He said, give him a dime. And that dime will be fucked up.
What bill y'all talking about?
The beautiful one,
the big beautiful bill. A part of it, if they don't amend that part as it's in, is it the House right now?
And that shit wasn't even supposed to be in part of the bill. The bill was supposed to be all about the deficit, the spending. And so they supposed to just strike that down. That ain't even supposed to be in that
pages to sneak something, man.
Yeah, this nigga just sneaked the 10 years in there, bro. No, that ain't how that work, bro.
You tried to help out my dog. Well, I did a full unpack about how I feel about all that shit. Tone, keep us going.
All right, this one was just fun. I just thought it was cool. Like your mom. Anyway.
Hey. This shit I like right here. This street.
I always want to know how to do the body work.
Hey, kill it,
bro.
Who's that, Cinderella?
That's one of them handmade housework.
But she killed it.
That's a handmade house with, what is it? Wife's tale, whatever.
Bro, she looked like a doll for real.
Man, she goes crazy.
Yeah, they go crazy. I had to watch it like a few times. Yeah. Old girl went crazy on it. Let's see what's next.
Hey, hold on. Play it one more time. Rail got to send me the wave.
I'm left-handed, bro. I can't. Okay, I can't send it to you.
Now pull us all the way up. Tone, you got to make us big on the screen here.
Hey, here we go.
All right, we done.
I forgot they can't even hear it.
They can hear it as long as it's shared.
I didn't share that. I took it off the share.
Oh no, like they can hear it in the back as long as whatever the tab is that's shared, they can hear it.
But my cousin hit me with the goddamn, then when he did his shit, he dropped that bitch all the way down.
Then he started touching and hitting with the all that good shit.
Nah, he just did the
some of these I don't remember what they're about, but I think this one looked interesting. I can't remember what it was.
So lately I've been seeing a lot of these videos saying like, oh, when a 6'5" dreadhead named Tyrone just slumped my buddy, whatever, then my 40 jammed. Pretty much saying that no matter what, he's not going to be scared of a black person and he's not going to back down. Understand, black people don't want you to be scared of us, and I hear this a lot. You have an internalized fear of us. I work in a club, I'm a bouncer. And don't get me wrong, physically I'm not a small dude. I'm like 240 pounds, extremely muscular. And constantly I hear people say, you think I'm scared of you because you're black. No, you should be scared because I'm about to kick you down a flight of stairs. But for me, the obsession with brown-skinned people from Caucasians is weird. Because dark-skinned people don't fantasize about Caucasians or hurting them. We don't. As a collective, we don't. It's never been a thing. That's why in 400 plus years, black folks did not get together and say, hey, let's make a hate group dedicating to hurting Caucasians. But Caucasians have done this multiple times. And for me, it's not just simple hate, it's obsession. I really believe it's obsession. Even during times of slavery, our unique attributes always been in question, including our physical makeup, our color, our strength, our physical abilities, and also how can they obtain and or do the exact same thing that we're doing. This is why the narrative of you're only here to entertain us has been spun so hard, while also copying everything that we do. Hating us while being obsessed with us is wild. Pick a struggle. So lately,
all right, so the reason I shared that is because I noticed this, like exactly what he's talking about in a lot of comment sections under different stuff when like his video shared about black people doing ignorant stuff and everything like that. And like we've talked the past couple of weeks about like what was it, black fatigue and all the ignorance. But the other side of that thing is like we do not think about like the stuff they be saying in the comments under like these black fatigue videos and certain other stuff or videos of black people stealing or videos of black people shooting. the comments under there be disgusting to me. Like it's always a yeah for black. I'm like black people don't be thinking about y'all like that.
Yeah, and to give an appeal to Kofi, a lot of the motherfuckers be Republicans. Like that's the side that niggas is trying to jump in and run over to. Like this is where again, like I do advocate for like independence, and then if we get into even if you want to go to like some of Chuck shit or even Steve shit, where Steve says like advocate for what's going to be best for your specific social class, the social class that most black people are going to be in, and Chuck's idea of like the whole what's going to be best for the development and growth of your family, and if you and your family and the people around you do better, I think that in general, that small microcosm of community hopefully branches itself off into a bigger macrocosm of a community. But
that's a big hope.
Yeah.
But I get it though. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't cut you off.
Oh no. I don't know if you care to go back and forth. I think that in my opinion, the same like big hope that you're saying that is the same big hope of there being a government like program that's going to get all black people on board to do the exact same thing. Where in my opinion, I think that the quicker route would be not the idea that all black people have to do and become this specific thing, but being able to have a good enough collective, i.e. like you can just go to whatever immigrant group you want to, that can have enough power to levy for, the basic improvements that we're looking at.
Well, the thing that, and see, this is what I always get into this. So when y'all say that the thing that the community needs is money, and the economics is the thing. I listen to that all the time, and like I understand when you're like how you tie like poverty to socioeconomic status. I understand how you tie that together. But one thing I will tell you is that honestly, and this is why the idea of code stuck out to me. Not saying that I don't know how you come up with the code. I don't know. I think it seems like the code that as we were hearing it, that FBA code, like it's kind of different depending on who you talk to. But I think that for me and what I see more often than not is like, because I live in a place where let's say it's been lower socioeconomic for a long time in the city. It's coming around now. It's being gentrified, and what I see is these immigrants that you're talking about, the Hispanics, they have a code. Before they got the money, now they have the money. They're buying the gas stations and they got the big ass grocery store and all this shit over there. But before they did that, they had a code. There was a code there that made their system work. The money will come after the code is actually established and people are actually living off of this thing. Then and that's why I always say
I think that's an overfantilization of it. I think Hispanics code is group economics.
Yeah, but it's like not
them niggas kill each other at the same rate that black people do. These niggas operate in debauchery and gangs at the same rate that black people do.
Well, now you talking about this is more area, but different area. You talking about like in your Bay Area, they got.
Oh no, I'm talking about like even here, like
MS-13 shit lasted for a couple.
Bro, the motherfuckers still got gangs at my son's high school. The Mexicans.
Like, no, I'm not saying gangs don't exist.
No, I'm saying like they have it. Like poor communities everywhere got gang problems.
Okay, so. And I won't debate that. Right? But when you do see them thriving, right? Because you're talking about pop. So when you do see them thriving, not necessarily, and I'm talking about on the front end of it, right? Because like
it's like group economics of immigrants.
But it's also they're working for each other.
It's group economics.
Yeah, it's group economics, but it's also a so like I can tell you this. I can ride down. Well, this is not here lately. I haven't seen it in a while because they've kind of risen themselves a little bit further. But I used to be able to ride down Sugar Creek. At Sugar Creek in the service road, right? At Sugar Creek, you can see the Hispanics out there, and I understand this is still group economics, but like just think of this, that like they're literally picking each other up. Motherfucker just looking for work on Sugar Creek. Motherfucker just got a van. Come on, we gonna got them take you out here. You gonna do this work. You know what I mean? It's a level of community too, though. The group economics is there, so they are exchanging. You know what I mean? They are exchanging work and exchange. You know what I mean? They're buying homes together and all this stuff. But there's also a level of community that you'll see. There's and I think that I don't think that money is the only thing that because you can give niggas a bunch of money and we'll see what niggas do with money. It's the same thing you talk about with the reparations. Well, if niggas did just build the money without the actual, without the foundation.
He has said education would be.
Yeah, I put education very high. My thing is that I don't think that black people are inherently like immoral, evil, bad. No. But if the issue doesn't evolve around some version of socioeconomic in education, then it goes into eventually what the white supremacists say, in which it's inherent that black people are unmoral, or like more prone to violence.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Because inherent, you would say that this is like that.
But if you're saying that education and socioeconomics don't.
No, I say don't. I didn't say don't. I said that to me, what I think it is also is we have to redefine the culture. Get that what Unc say, that nigga shit that we tie the niggas to. Like we have to create the culture in the way that we want it to be, and actually prop up the things that we want the culture to reflect. So that's the thing. If you notice, like a lot of our children, we were too, a reflection of the things that we consumed as far as entertainment was entertainment was concerned. I'm one to believe that our entertainment has a lot to do with our positioning as far as our community. Because you could build a community. If you got a community, y'all can get some money together. If you got a community, you can build the money can be built. Do you disagree?
Do I?
The socioeconomic situation, yes. Because even in the hood back in the day, niggas was.
But I guess like what was you just saying? You were saying
talking about the culture.
Yeah, like the impact of I guess the entertainment and things like that.
The culture being detrimental. The loudest.
Like I guess I'm trying to understand like the callback to that being on code. But if we're talking about like our entertainment in general, I think that we do have a broadcast of heavy detrimental entertainment. But I also think that pretty much all these cultures have a broadcast of heavy detrimental entertainment as well.
So you don't think you? So you?
I know that the Kardashians are. I don't think that the Kardashians or a lot of like the high end reality show shit where it's just a bunch of white women bickering back and forth and shit. Like those are white women.
I mean, I don't even know
like the Kardashians is white women. Like there's our sect in which like our algorithm pushes a bunch of that shit to us. But like white people like Honey Boo Boo and all that, like the My Teen Mom, all these was white people.
Where I have pushback for you at is like even with the white people stuff, there is a balance. Like with black people stuff, and I watch.
Who's the good white entertainers?
Bro, I don't watch white TV, but I know there's a lot of.
I don't know of them inside
the majority of the shows. If you go on HGTV or any of these Discovery Channel,
think about like you just moved this into like completely different version of.
But what black channel lies around that though? That's what I'm saying. There's.
I don't know a bunch of black channels.
You keep cutting me off, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a plethora of white people, white representation in other places besides on those other TV shows. Majority of the TV shows that reflect around black people are talking about selling drugs. You got a few comedies and stuff like that, but a lot of them are talking about.
But now let's just move it to the channels that you're talking about. It like whatever channel you're talking about, all the white people on that channel was doing the same thing. Like, and all the black people on the other channel was doing the same thing. You just said
none of us have cable.
I know, but I know
what channels are we talking about?
He just used HGTV. Like, ain't nothing derogatory happening for black or white people on there. Discovery ain't nothing but education happening on there.
Bro,
if you go to MTV, most of their program is actually like white people doing dumb shit.
Okay, so where the good black shows at? What good show?
Modern Family. I don't know.
Modern Family. What is that?
Oh, is that what's the Blackish?
Because I thought that was white.
College-ish. I'm saying like there's a few.
I want to.
So what I'm saying is
meet the which like there.
What I'm saying is the plethora. I'm not saying there isn't any. I'm not saying what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a plethora of shows like as far as white people, they have a plethora of shows that do some of the same stuff, and then they have a plethora of shows. They have a plethora of representation. Even if you have a plethora of representation.
Even if you look at it, you can sit and listen to the R&B music, right? The R&B, the writers, right? You can listen to them and listen to the conversation that they're having about them not wanting the music to the black artists to sing this music. This music is going to their channels. The writers, they're they are sitting there telling us the reason why you're not getting the love music. It's not that it doesn't exist like it did. is the fact that they're giving this music to our counterparts. We're not able to get, They're giving the music to they're literally giving the actual where we were heavy in love and R&B and soul and the love shit. We was heavy. That was big when we were growing up. Big. And the reason they're saying that, and these is the writers. I ain't come up with this. This to me, you know what I mean? This is what they're saying, is that they're giving these songs to the stations that won't be playing music for us. So it's going to be these white stations. They're getting the love music. They're getting all of this. Bro, I think that if you don't think that our culture is driven by the music, and really the music, number one, I believe, and then the movies both give us the movies gives you the visual, and we've seen what these things have done. We've seen it. You know what I mean? And I think that if we could be intentional about where we spend our time, like the Tone's question was, what was it? What is the benefit?
Where are you paying your attention?
Where are you paying your attention? See, the thing is that, like, and I understand it. What it is like niggas. The nigga that go to work and make the decent money, the middle class nigga, he also like to hear the goddamn, you know what I mean? We like motherfucking Moneybag Yo, and we like the bullshit too. The shit that's just gonna be to the detriment just because you ain't saying nothing beneficial that's beneficial to nobody.
Yeah, I guess
so we just don't want to get off of it because it's just entertainment. But at the end of the day,
I think it's a really easy scapegoat that has no like it's hard to find like a factual basis of it. Like only because of every low socioeconomic group has this exact same classes, does the exact same thing at the exact same rate. Well, and so then just to specify it to black people and like this is just the detrimental part. But then
no. Like I said, if I'm talking about us, it ain't got nothing to do.
Oh no, I got it. But then I can also use this. It's like if you want to talk about how their music influences them, I'm not around them enough to know really what that looks like to be able to talk about that. But the only thing I can talk about is what I see every day. Cool, but the crime rates all still say the same.
Does that make it right? Either way, like I heard you say that. Does that make it any more better? Yeah, well, white people commit crime too, so it's okay. Right. But like, bro, I'm tired of dog. Like, you use that argument all the time. Like, white people do it, so it's cool. Well,
but think about why I'm using the argument. Let me actually say, I'm using that argument because of if this is a consistent variable that still elicits the same response, maybe that's not the issue. So if we're saying
they have it too, right? You're saying that they have it too.
What I'm saying is that like the argument y'all are making is that white people don't have as much detrimental crazy shit inside like that shit. What Tone was saying. Y'all got to allow me to like get some words out for a second.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
If y'all are saying that it's the culture and like the culture is formatting this entire issue inside this low socioeconomic area, that would be a variable that if then I look at other groups that have better cultures, and they're at the same socioeconomic level, then they should have better, they should have better results.
Okay. And
the issue is that when you look at all poor people exhibit the same behaviors.
So what I'm asking, what you're saying is that the statistics will be the same when you're looking at each ethnic group. You're saying that the statistics of income will reflect the same, or the statistic of crime.
Poverty and crime go hand in hand.
But see, I understand that, but in my mind, like, to me, I don't believe that. And look, I done heard this said many times. I know that this is what everybody's saying. We had somebody in the chat say, if you don't think that crime and poverty have anything to do with each other, then it's just ignorant. I understand that, right? But I think that there's a correlation doesn't mean causation.
No, I'm just trying to see like where's the link that shows different. If not, that seems like saying culture like is the thing that like makes ours, but then everybody has the same exact results and they don't have the same exact culture. It just seems like a weird variable to say that this is the issue.
Everybody has the same exact
results.
All poor people commit crime or on drugs.
This is the thing.
Hold on, what you just said. All poor people commit crime and are on drugs
and kill people. Yes,
that's a lie.
But regardless of that,
show me the group that's impoverished that don't.
You just said all poor people. Listen to what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't believe what you just said.
But all right. So are we talking inside? Like
it wasn't that. It's okay.
Do y'all understand what the fuck I'm saying? Like, why would we make it to like the extreme of I'm literally meaning all? Instead of saying that crime statistics amongst poor people, whether you want to go black, white, Asian, Hindu, Indian, like it don't fucking matter. They're the exact same. Right. There's no it's a hyper increase. Hold on. Like what are we saying?
I got something for you. Go ahead. So you're telling me that we haven't seen influx in a generation of middle class kids, right? That still want to be the same thing that the poor people do. This is something that I got people in my family that was middle class, 2-parent household, mom and dad. All of these things are pointing in the direction that you're supposed to go here, right? But then all I know is everything that you consume, that the culture has created for you to consume, though you in this place, you still choose to do the shit that the low-hanging fruit does. So the socioeconomic situation is not the answer to the level of crime.
In mass, it is proven to be. You're giving an anecdote about what you see.
Just throw some money at them niggas, bro, and then they'll be out of pocket.
Just talk outside of anecdote. Just use mass groups or something.
Okay, well, let's just look at the people that are doing the entertaining, right? That have the money that we're saying, the people that are actually doing the entertaining.
At them.
What do you mean? Who do you want to use? Like
any mass group, any mass. So now again, we go from like your anecdote to like a hyper 0.1% person. Why would we be using like those?
I'm talking about only reason why I use them because they're the ones that's creating.
I'm just saying, like, if you look at crime statistic, education statistics, if you look at any statistic that you can measure, like all of it is based off of socioeconomics. And so, like, if you're making points to say that it's not, I would just say, like, show me where this exists.
Well, I don't understand to say that the media don't exist. Like the media does influence the people. The reason they invest.
I never said it didn't exist that it didn't influence.
At the end of the day, like you can, like I said before, you can ask Unc what he's seen during the time period where Scarface came out. This was a time period like that.
Yeah,
that was
crime is less right now. Like we can look at the stats to show everything. Crime is less.
No. Hold on. What I'm saying is I'm talking about the cultural impact because even though that wasn't us in the movie, we internalized it as if it was us. It inspired us to want to be. So you can ask these people. I talked to plenty of niggas in.
What is that a rebuttal to what that I've said? Do you think that I think that there's no impact to like images, crime, and music or something?
Oh, I mean the whole.
I don't think that is the main thing that influences like behavior at all, though. Clearly there's some impact, but
there's
the people inside that watch the Scarface, the 90s. Like there's a clear chart that goes like this when it comes down to crime, drugs. There's also when you talk about like I don't understand how that would be a rebuttal when crime is going down, drugs is going down.
So when you say drugs is going down, right? So are we saying we're saying drugs is going down based on what the amount of people being in prison for drug use? Is that what that stat is? Is that how you come up with the stat?
Let's just use crime. That's a lot easier of a thing to look at.
So we're using crime to say what? Crime rate is going down, which means
murder in general has went down in the black community.
But let me ask you this: and I want to pull the chart up because I'm not 100% sure, but I would be willing to bet that when you're seeing down, you're probably talking about from a place where black people were at their worst, probably during like this crack era or right in that crack era time period. Of course, we should be tailoring down because crack did what it did to the community. So those stats, that's not a place to feel like, oh, we're doing good now. No, that was just very fucking terrible. And now we just supposed to be doing better because that drug is not flooding the community like it was. So like to use that as the marker to say, y'all are doing so much
better.
But
we don't have to look at just the cracker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's pull it back up because I think that's generally what I've seen niggas use. That's what I've seen niggas use. We'll use like the fucking late 70s, 80s, and then use that to say that how much better we're doing. But like
we talked about like, is it better now, later in like the 60s? Go ahead.
I want to find a chart. Well, I don't know, Tony, you could do it because you'll be able to just put it up there. Chart? Just a chart that and actually how much time we got? I'll make
36 minutes, 37 minutes.
Yeah, I'll make.
We got. It's at 2:37.
23 minutes.
23 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I'll make something because I had something to question like where's the line between cultural dysfunction and what did I call it? Cultural dysfunction and socioeconomic. Yeah, so that'll be my question. I already had that.
It's just weird that it seems like all the groups that end up like benefiting and going up socioeconomic, their crime, their drug use, like all the degenerate behavior tends to somehow just wash away. And this is where you look at like the Italians, you look at like every immigrant group that comes in. The higher they go, the higher they go up.
Some of the mob.
We can go with let's use the Irish then. The Irish, like whichever version, like I can use like 7-8 groups that start off one thing, and then as they make more money, Asians. There we go. That's
well, let's say this too, though. We also understand that they don't have the same situation that we have as well, right? Okay. So we of course that they're going to have that a little leg up in that respect, right? Do you agree or disagree?
I agree, but if you look at black people in like social economics, like from lower class, like
middle class,
upper class. In the rates, it mirrors the general population,
right? But do you think that also, as you go up, the percentages go down, right? The percentages go down, right? The percentage of population that actually are in this place, right? So you would also, so if you add in respects to population, see, only thing I want to do is
but do you understand? Like it would weigh heavier if you have a smaller population and you commit a crime to that general population. You have less gray area. I
understand. You have less means for we'll do this. We'll definitely do this next week. That'll be my question for sure.
Okay.
But I do want to before we because we've been talking a lot of politics and just loosen it up real quick. And this was a question that I had. Y'all, you ready to move forward?
I didn't get a meme.
No memes.
Oh damn! I ain't get a meme either.
You went straight to the question.
My bad. That wasn't even my fucking question.
I guess I can try and make it quick. I guess
I'm gonna tap out on my memes for this week. It wasn't nothing.
Yeah, special. You gotta go to the actual.
This weekend, my friends hosted the most epic field day ever, and let me tell you, it was.
It would do its own thing when it wants to.
Yeah, but I say they hearing all of that. But shout out to the chat. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to Steve, Kofi, LTO.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mama
I want to see how many coons I got called up there.
You didn't get called.
I don't think nobody's
been called.
Yeah, we don't.
Everybody has been arguing points today, so I will give it that. Ain't been just like no name calling.
Yeah, well, that's like that typically happens when you don't have the guys in there. It's a certain group of guys that tend to call specific names. Let's go with. All right, so I know this one is a little funnier. I got a good chuckle out of it. Then I'll get maybe like one or two serious ones. You see that white lady bottom right?
Oh my bad. Let me get this right.
Yeah.
Fucking up again,
bro. You gonna push?
Hey, why?
Is your coffee?
Yeah. Why are you wearing my running shoes?
I walked a mile in your shoes, and I just wanted to say, I'm sorry.
So you literally walked a mile in my shoes?
Yeah. So, let this be my formal apology. White men have it hard. They do. They really do.
Okay.
Here's a job. Which one should I take? Can't touch that. Can't touch that. Oh. Is it time to masturbate? The clock keeps ticking on and on. My hairline? Oh, I think it's on.
When I said walk up...
My dick don't work.
What?
Can someone turn it on? Can't. I guess that's what's going on.
I just thought that was hilarious to me. My dick don't work. That's a crazy stereotype for white men. All right. Let's go to. I don't remember which one. Go scroll down a little bit. Let me see if I can get that other grits and eggs in here. The Hebrews. This was funny. I thought that this was funny. 1-800-HEBREW.
Do I call the cops and put this black man's life in danger? Or do I stand by and watch him potentially kill this black woman? This is the pickle that we get put in, especially with the police. If we had our own where we were protecting ourselves and we had somebody we could call, like let's just say like the Hebrew Israelites decided to take up arms in situations like this. You dial 1-800-HEBREW and niggas pull up, purple and gold, tactical gear. Get on the ground, nigga. Get your hands off that woman and get on the ground.
That's a scary sight.
Son, first of all, the all black vehicle pull up with the gold Hebrew on the side, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Once you see them gold tassels, once they hop out.
First of all, tactical tassels. We just gave niggas an idea how to protect the community. 1-800-HEBREW. I'm telling you, They answer the phone. This is the real Jew speaking. How can we help you? Yeah, black man. Nigga.
The original man talking to you right now.
Original man speaking.
Original man speaking. How may we help?
Hold on, hold on. There's a situation going on. Call 1-800-Hebrew.
Ring, ring.
Original man speaking. How can I help you?
Yeah, we got a situation down here. It's a brother whooping his sister's ass.
Oh shit, Hebrew is on the way. Oh, we got a unit over there. We got the Jews over there right now.
Right now.
We got the real Jews over there.
Niggas talk about with the Star of David on the tactical gears. Niggas talk about with the Star of David.
That was hilarious to me. Real Jew speaking.
Yeah, no, that is hilarious.
We got the real Jews on the way. All right, go up to the top. We can play the last play middleman right here for a quick second. Yeah.
All right. Goodness gracious.
I've seen this one. Oh, pause the
Hey
music.
man, you all right?
Oh damn, you can't pause the music.
You all right?
They said I'll hold you through the night.
All right, so I guess that can kind of lead into the this month is Black Male I said Black Male. It's Male Mental Health Month, in which I think that's like a great microcosm of just kind of a lot of what men go through on a daily. Where you just got to kind of suck it up and go through it, and you might have those moments, but as soon as it's time to put on face, you got to put on face. And I thought that was a very, very powerful meme to kind of introduce the conversation.
Yeah, that's an area I think has gotten better as far as men taking care of their mental health, and even how dude did in the car. I know or at least in my experience I've noticed a lot more trend of men actually genuinely being concerned, or even just the what's good, you good, or I hope you have it being more genuine nowadays or something. There's kind of this unsaid thing amongst more men where it's nah, if I'm asking how you doing, I'm really asking how you doing, or I'm really hoping you have a good day, or I'm really trying to give you I've kind of noticed a little bit more, and I think that's gotten better as far as men actually helping each other out in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
Because even dude was really probably thinking about something, but somebody asking you if you all right.
No, did you seen him, right? He was holding back tears.
Yeah, he was holding back tears. And then as soon as dude asked him if he was all right, he turned around and he was able to smile. And it could have been a fake smile, but I don't think it was the case. It's I
think that was for sure.
Definitely he was putting on the face, bro.
Yeah.
He was putting on the face.
That's the kind of
that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
I remember when my granddad passed and I was leaving the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pulling out, and of course I don't remember shit. I was just my brain was so fucked up because I had just lost my aunt. It was all within the same year. It was a couple of shit had me kind of fucked up, and I hadn't shed a tear. And I think I remember trying to pull out of the hospital parking lot, and it was yeah, bro, ain't no need of him trying to. You know what I mean? You know how you be fighting and you got the lump in your throat, pause. Oh, yeah. But then it's you fighting it, and you just fighting. And it was bro, you losing, bro. You know what I mean? It was you just let it go, bro. You losing. You losing. And this ain't even one you want to need. You may not want to win this one. You know what I mean? That's kind of what went through my head. It was bro, you may not want to try to win this one. Mm-hmm. And so I just sat there, and then I remember for a split second thinking about people are literally riding by me. Mm-hmm. But it was still bro, even if I wanted to, I couldn't have, you know what I mean? I couldn't even have gotten it together. When I seen that, I saw that on I saw that meme myself, came across my algorithm, and it made me think about that exact moment when I couldn't even put the face on. Mm-hmm. But I think I tried though. You know what I mean? I think that's the natural inclination that we have is to mask it. We naturally want to mask it. And yeah, it's to the detriment. It's to the detriment.
Yeah, so part of the point I was making though was just somebody asking how your day going sometimes can change that up or something, because you don't never know what somebody feeling, and it could be you don't feel noticed or something, then somebody just know even in that moment, which y'all said he was he was just putting on the face and everything. Mm-hmm. But I'm even just somebody actually being concerned, bro, you okay? Because they could have just kept driving by. Mm-hmm. I'm that kind of means something, and people take for granted those little things sometimes. It's like we don't know what happened after that moment or how that dude really felt or anything. But yeah, that's
it was a tough one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that just a space of understanding more times. I guess more times than that, we're often in first player mode, where like we're only seeing things through our lens, and that most people don't have like a bunch of shit that they're working through daily, consistently. I think that's really, really important. Like that's a great mic. I forget what it's a term that describes it. And I think that's mindful, especially with men when it's already beaten in and stereotyped for you to be like these words like stoic and shit like that. I think that's important. I think mental health just in general is its own thing where like I know for me, there's spaces where I think I struggle with like the term would be like survivor's remorse a lot of times, especially with like the more I have like friends that continue piling up passing and like through just different versions and shit like that. And it's like, damn, like we all kind of grew up together. We all was like literally hanging around each other every single week, 5 days a week. And now I got like 4 or 5 people I can count on my hand where it's like, damn, because a couple different little decisions that you just kind of maybe even accidentally made, like you put yourself in a different space, but that don't make you too much different than them. Like it's like this weird little balance. Same difference. Like I think that a lot of people, I know I'm an imposter syndrome person or whatnot. So like there's a lot of different little things that a lot of us are dealing with daily, weekly, monthly, XYZ. Anxieties, like one of the, well, it's kind of less been like a trigger word, but that's a big one. And once you like start to learn how to identify, you be like, oh shit, this is like a major part of moving in situations. Oh, you like to socially drink? That's probably because you feel like, and you can kind of run down that anxiety. Oh, you like you like there's so many things like that we used to call like being scary or like XYZ. No, that's just kind of anxiety of a thing. And that's a natural part of like mental health. But as men over time, it's been beat and conditioned into us through like various forms of like whether it's through parenting, through sports, through education, through whatever, through relationship dynamics that, you know, like we have to be this unexpressive, repressive version of ourselves. And I think that, you know, it is mental health month, so it's important to just kind of recognize that men are also human.
Yeah, I think that what the world was doing was attempting to callous us for what the world, what you know what I mean, is the world. I don't think that like our granddad or like our grandparents' generation, they needed to be a lot more callous than we do because of what was going on during that time period. You know what I mean? And as the generations, I think that's why like mental health, even the conversation is even something that men are open to talking about, is because we're a lot less callous than a generation prior because of the things that they had to go through, some shit that we ain't had to go through. You know what I mean? And so, but I think that we still have a hard time dealing with, because like what I think, I read the statistic as a couple of weeks ago. They were saying that, matter of fact, it was when you weren't here, Johnny was there, and we were talking about how everything is going so much better. And I was like, well, what is the suicide or the unaliving rate, right? And he was like, oh,
bro, didn't you just learn something last night about saying that?
Man,
that's when he turned up for real.
Yeah, but go ahead, keep going. Yeah, he said it was up 30% from last year.
Okay.
Right, and so that made me look into this. It said that it says that just 6 months in, it says 444,536 unalive or self-deletions already in 2025. 70 to 80% of those are male.
Okay.
So in so we're looking at 1 million mugs by the end of the year. Hopefully not, but we're looking at about 1 million. You know what I mean? With vast majority of them being men. And I know that, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, whether it be white or black men, this is a time period. And then that's why I don't like when I do say like, oh, nah, white men, they having a tough time at it too. When you're talking to black people and you say that, they want to act like, well, who cares? Or are you saying that the white men having trouble with the I'm like, bro, look at like we already know that they analyze themselves more than we do. If the statistic went up 30% and we talking about 400,
because
almost 500, half a million people, then what do you think the population of it is like? What do you think? So I mean, I have empathy, even though I know the history.
Imagine thinking that you gotta be great and then you ain't shit.
I mean, and just
that's a good portion of them.
Man, I think that I don't even think that it's all of that. I think it's just
but that too. That propaganda plays on both sides. Like, because it's like
they think that they post that shit figured out. They got privilege. They got all these shits, and then you out here working side by side with that black man.
I think that that's like the loud thing is saying, nigga, and we did the propaganda, like you said. We said you got the privilege, you got all this, you got all that. Well, I mean, statistically, it's way more poor people, poor whites there is like just like everything. You know what I mean? The vast majority of them are poor. The vast majority of the SNAP benefits, food stamp, whatever you want to call it, like they're getting majority of government assistance.
Do you remember a few years back when I was saying I wouldn't give a white poor man money?
Yeah, I remember you saying
I wouldn't give a white homeless person. I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I've changed my mind on that since, but
you got to change your mind on that.
Nah, but I understand the ignorance in the statement, though.
Ain't no ignorance, bro. I appreciate
there was some ignorance in the statement.
As a man, bro, man, shit. They just because he white don't mean his life ain't hard as fuck, bro.
Yeah, but it was like at the time, my mentality was like, bro, man, they white and they poor.
Them niggas still lose people.
That mean they really ain't doing shit.
Imagine if it's not. The thing is, it ain't got to be money. That's the thing we always want to think about money.
Yeah.
Nigga, they lose people too, bro.
Yeah.
They moms and dads and brothers and sisters and children and all these people pass too on their side. They just as human, bro. Like they have a human experience, even though they did, let's say they got the leg up on, you know what I mean, the head start. We understand that. But at the same time, as a man, I don't know, me being a man, looking at a man going through, I still have empathy because I know I done some dumbass shit and you know what I mean? And then I got away with a lot of dumbass shit too. Mm-hmm. But I could have got caught one of the several times in my life will be completely different. So I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm more of like the nigga, you being from where you from, and we're more of the exception to the rule. Go over there and see what majority of us ended up like. So like to not have empathy, even whether it be black or white, like to know that they be fucked up too. And knowing that men as men, the brunt of the family, it falls on us, nigga. If the house start falling down, motherfuckers looking at you. Whether you black, white, green, yellow, the house is looking at you and you need to figure it the fuck out. And I know what that weight feel like. And I don't see it being no different for, you know what I mean? Hell, if anything, we should have more leniency in the crib because our women should actually understand what we, you know what I mean? But shit, hell, I don't feel, you know what I mean? I don't see that. So I know that it's going to be hard on either side, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't really, that's why I'm glad you corrected it. Male mental health, because that mental health shit is not just, that shit don't stop with us.
Yeah. Bro said all that to say, I'm still not personally giving no white man that. When y'all see when y'all see that Mustang pull up, playing that loud ass black culturally detrimental music.
Nah,
with them 808s.
I was listening to Michael.
And when y'all hear that loud, culturally irrelevant music, detrimental music, he rolled down that window
and gave the white man $5,
and he do this. That's real. Real don't even put it in the white man hand. Nah, he throw it at him. He throw that change at him.
Nah,
ain't that right?
Nah, bro.
Oh, you put it in the hand?
No. Yeah, I put it in the hand. Pause.
How it make you feel? Never mind. Go ahead. Go to something else. Go ahead. I'm done.
Go to some comments. How much time we got left?
We got 4 minutes or 3 minutes.
Just read some comments, I guess. And shouts to the peoples.
Okay, so LTO been trying to tell us her story.
Okay, all right. LTO, call in if you. Well, yeah, I don't know if we got enough time. My bad, Kofi. Kofi, we gonna set up the Kofi Steve debate. Hey, that'll be a fire debate. Actually,
no, that would be a fire.
Kofi still is in the background too. Defend himself.
Okay, you want to give him? If you want to put a quick minute,
I'll put Kofi up. He been waiting in the background for a minute.
All right, throw the minute and let's.
What up, Kofi? You on, man?
Yeah, nah. I really got much to say to Steve. He's I like Steve. I agree with Steve most of the time. He's just unprincipled. He got checkmated. Because the whole chat is saying that I can say vote for him. And I'm trying to give him a chance to try to redeem himself. He just want to be a big liar. He could just be a big liar with hurt feelings. That's cool. I also want to say I do agree with Checkway or whatever. You know, I don't think any party is for us. They're not pro for us. I do believe in third party, but I do agree with Check. We gotta get our money up, and with that, then we gain respect. On white supremacy, they only recognize power, so we're not gonna galvanize in the military power, but it's easier for us to get our money up, and that's how we do it. Closing, the back and forth Q and Rel was having, and I'm sorry, I forgot the brother Tone. The brother Tone. I understand what all of you guys were saying, but I'm a little sided a little bit more with what Rel and Tone was saying, because I've been saying this like forever. Back in the I'm old. I'm more close to Unc's age. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit older than me. I remember back in the day growing up, and bro, probably like my age. So remember back in the day, and I always use music. What I say? What's so funny?
That shit, hey, I knew that. It took you a
I don't know what I said was so funny.
No, Rel's younger than me.
Yeah.
Rel is not near Unc's age. He's not.
Yeah.
Rel is like the epitome of mid-30s.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I would use music as an example, because we had.
Hey, Kobe, before you get there, we gotta have fun now. How old did you think Rel was?
Man, fuck you. Tell me we gotta have fun now.
I thought Rel was like in his early 40s.
Bro.
I ain't mad at it, bro.
All right, he don't look bad. Like, I don't know what y'all trying to say. You look like a mature dude. He looks more mature than you guys.
Bro, he look ugly. You ain't gotta lie about that.
Your mom loves it.
That nigga ugly, bro.
She loves it, I promise you. She got my name tatted on her
like
hip.
he knows some shit. Look like he knows some shit. You know what I'm saying? He look like he got wisdom on his side.
Okay.
But anyway,
That's what ugliness look like.
But I always use music as and TV, because when we had NWA, you know what I'm saying? We had the Cosby Show, we had the Parenthood with Robert Townsend, we had the Ratchet shit, but it was a balance. But for like the past 15, 20 years, there's no balance at all.
What was at its worst during that time that you just named?
But we had people that represented, because when rap,
that's why I don't think that cultural representation means shit. Like during that time, we had all that fire representation. Crime was at its highest.
Oh, okay, but that's not representation of all black people. So even for more reasons than other, we needed that representation to say, like, look, all black people aren't this. You see what I'm saying? Now I can't. What's the Cosby Show? What's the Cosby Show family we got around right now? What's the conscious music we got around right now that's popular? We got what's the Public Enemy? Where's the Public Enemy at? We don't got that. You know what I'm saying? So back in the days, it was more even. Whatever genre of hip hop, you want Common Sense or you want Ice Cube. You can pick whatever one, but you can't say rap is just this one thing. You can't say black TV is just this one thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that nowadays. That's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I agree that it's like there's way more of a highlight on negativity within black music for sure.
But I think that the thing is that even when you had like even with NWA and all that, like there were still stories. So like there was an understanding of why this person was, how we got here, even though you know what I mean? It didn't feel like glorification. Then these niggas glorifying it and then are punching in, talking about a bunch of fucking nothing, making the kids believe that they got all of this money. It's like all to the detriment. At least the niggas didn't want this for the community. Niggas wanted better, and niggas was trying to tell the stories, and you know what I mean? It came from a place, it came from a different place than where it's coming from now. Now it's all about the money, which the motherfucker been talking about how the money been to the detriment the entire time. You sell yourself, all these different things. And I think that at the end of the day, we've been convinced. We've been convinced that money will save us, and money is the key to happiness, and money is the key to all of this different shit. I mean, I definitely don't want to be. I don't want to be in poverty, but like I've had. See, I understand mine. I've been kind of privileged. I had like a 5-year span where I didn't have to work and still was fine. And I know that like that right there kind of made me value time more than money. And then when I kind of like, it doesn't feel the same to me. So like making money, that shit just means you can pay your bills and save and just look at it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not really, it doesn't really manifest itself in like any grand, unless you say like I'll pay for my kids to go to a better school. I mean, but that's just all like all shit that's based in you. Like if it's the community, and that's why I understand where you can have that mindset. Why I don't agree with that mindset. Oh, you just do it as an individual, and then you'll be. yeah, you talking about 100, 200 years, maybe if that there will be a community in maybe 2 centuries. Here, waiting on everybody.
No ethnic group has. It's not taking them 2 centuries to do that.
Okay, well, shit. If we,
I'm just saying, like if we just
okay,
look
go
at
ahead.
talk about like
even
what.
Though if you saying 2 centuries from now,
No, I'm saying
I'm
that
talking about
it's
2
not
centuries from now.
Yeah, it's not taking like all the immigrants in America. They started off really poor.
I understand,
and they worked their way up using like a very specific easy plan.
Right. But they also have what the community, right? They got the community aspect, which is where the money circulates because they have the community. The dollar stays in the community longer instead of just putting shit outside of the community.
No,
well, all right. Well,
like Asians don't have like stores in their community.
Yeah, they
do. Well, they have no, but that's because they put their stores in our community.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's like they
circulate their dollar. They circulate our dollar in their neighborhood.
No, they put a heavier emphasis on education, and career path.
We talking about the dollars. What we talking about?
Right. Like there's not a spot where, of course, like you have some places that have like Chinatown, but there's not a bunch of Chinatowns.
Bro, you know how many they buy?
They got there's a Chinatown in New York. There's a Chinatown in Georgia.
Right beside the Mexican grocery store, right here in the hood on Sugar Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Them niggas, they bought that building for something like $500,000. They just offered them $8 million to sell it.
That's a great come up for them.
You know how many fucking beauty supply stores is right there? And I went in the one thinking there was a black joint. They used a black kind of sounding name. I can't think of the name, but they named it. It sounded like it was, you know what I mean? Yeah, like black woman owned this joint. You go in there and goddamn breast sitting right up there.
Black women.
The only thing I'm saying is that they make their money from us.
Yes,
and then take it back to them, and they circulate our dollar in their neighborhood.
Not in their neighborhood, like, and they just move to the white neighborhoods and circulate their dollar with white people.
Okay.
But and send their kids to white schools, private schools, and then send their kids send their next to like white Ivy League colleges and shit like that.
I mean, and this is the thing too, bro. Like, cause
let's use Indians. Then we can use like the people from India. Yeah. Like it's all still the same. I can just keep using different groups that don't have like their towns inside our community, and they just use the exact same thing.
You know, the crazy
they get their money up, they get their education up, they push their kids to very specific high earning fields, and somehow they become like model citizens. It's not. You said we're gonna talk about it next week, but I do agree with like the hip hop part that y'all said.
Yeah, I mean, just saying this, like we not as time progressed on, I don't see that representation of black people. So yeah, you got white people got the ratchet shit, but white people's at a level right now. They can just do just straight up ratchet shit, but they still got shit on the History Channel talking about how great they were. So it don't matter how much ratchet shit white people put. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be properly represented on 90 other channels. Black people is a different story.
I'm sorry, bro. Can I play this? Can you play? I ain't get no meme today. This just popped up on my shit.
Oh, go ahead.
And we gotta let Quee get us shine real quick, bro. That shit was just popped up. Read the caption, Toe.
I don't have X-ray vision, but it looks like steaks in the bonnet to me.
Come around.
She do got steaks in that bonnet. I done seen this before.
Come around.
You got it figured out too.
Yeah.
How'd she get it in there?
Bro, that shit's hilarious to me, bro.
She at the Wally World stealing steaks.
Man. Yeah, that's crazy. All right,
we good.
Where we at?
Well, I think we might be done.
Ain't got no comments.
We got a bunch of them.
We got a bunch of comments.
Let's rock a couple of those before we let it out there.
All right.
Let's see. You know someone is going through something when they're putting on the Eminem songs.
Nah.
Oh yeah, no, that's
like the depressing ones. Not when he rapping like the new Lil Wayne, but when he's doing like the Mockingbird, the what's the money rained up some cleaning out my closet and shit like that.
Oh, killing his mom music and stuff.
Or Stan.
Oh yeah, that was the
Stan is the shit.
Whatever, unaliving, whatever the fuck, man. I'm not tired of that shit already.
Let me see. It's I ain't reading all these comments, bro. Crime was at his house because they did black people bad back then, and we were not depicted well on any media. And they let white people go, and they weren't arrested for as many things as blacks.
Over policing.
Yeah, that's another thing. We don't know how much crime didn't get reported in white communities or in Mexican communities or any of these communities. Or I ain't gonna say
we wasn't using that in comparison when we was talking about it. Then.
No, I can tell you all right now. So I have some co-workers. There was some brawls in New York that I didn't know about. So I know a couple guys. This Jewish guy. He lives in this particular area in Queens. Is just white and Asian. So he lives in a different place now. So anyway, long story short, one day we were at work. I needed something sharp or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get like this boxer thing open like that. Yo, I got a delivery. I can't get this box open. Out of nowhere, this dude pulls out a knife out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, what the hell? I was like, yo, you be pulling out knives quick. Anyway, long story short, he said, yo, I grew up in College Point. You see what College Point is, nothing but Asians and whites there. And he said, yo, he had to fight. I said, who you fighting in College Point? He said, the Asians. It was white people and Chinese people fighting all the time. It was straight up gang brawls.
That's that gang in New York shit.
Yeah, so, and I had another friend.
Was that real quick before you pass? Was that in a nice neighborhood? Or was that
it's all white Asian neighborhood, middle class to upper middle class, like
this wasn't like New York City then.
Yeah, and then they had this other shit. I didn't know they had like fights like.
No, you talking about like white middle class, good neighborhood. All that shit's a block away.
Yeah, but all that stuff was popping on like Chinatown. I heard that if anyone knows about Chinatown and Canal Street in New York, it's all Chinatown. But this dude told me before it used to be the Italians and Chinatown. It was split, and it was the Chinese and the Italians fighting each other for territory. So it was the Chinese mafia and the Chinese gangs fighting each other, all types of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, obviously, the Chinese won. And from there, if you guys know anything about New York, Little Italy is not far from there. So the Chinese just took over that area. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of shit. But but in New York, Harlem, the crime's all in the Harlem. That's where all the black people are. Harlem, East New York. Yeah, wherever there's black people are, while white people having all broad big gangs. It's crazy. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I feel it, brother. Tom, was we kind of wrapped up?
Yeah, it's not too much more in here. Unc did say, you ever seen who delivers most of the food to Chinese restaurants? I can guarantee you by seeing it with my own eyes that they have their own meat places and buy produce from their own people.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I've seen, I've worked in Asian restaurants for the 8 years. It's mostly like Cisco.
What's that mean?
Cisco is a
that's
they deliver food.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what they delivered. I know I've seen those trucks before, but I didn't know what business they were in.
They
only hire each other and all kind of shit. You ain't seen that. I did see a black person.
He said, "Wrap it up. The game coming on."
Hey, this is what the hell? I did put that as one of the things. Maybe I did. No, Cisco's not like an Asian type of thing. They deliver at the gym and all that shit.
They deliver seafood in Elizabeth City. It was seafood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not specific to it, but y'all niggas don't care about sports. But listen, they was trying to say that the small market teams. Listen, the finals is lit. What the hell? That shit might have been one of the most
I'm not saying that
epic
shit,
finishes to a finals game, especially with the odds of how OKC was supposed to dog walk them. To be honest, shout out to Hallie. Shout out Hallie. Shout out to his pops. They let him off restriction. My man can come back inside the building again. Ain't nothing like the old head dads that's like niggas. Shout out to Shay Dad, he a nigga. Shout out to inside the close enough to the way that Unc uses it. Shout out to Halliburton Dad, real one. Cat Dad, real one. Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' dad, real one. Even though Patrick Mahomes, wild one. Like shout out to all the dads that look like they might pull out a Black and Mild and smoke it outside the venue. I got OKC in 6. They made this really, really interesting, but I think Shea might go down with having one of the most historic seasons of. You ain't gotta worry about it. 1 seasons of a individual player in NBA history where he's going to get the MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, and the chip. Shout out to the young Bulls. But yeah,
everybody hurt, right? That's the reason why it ended up. This is another one of those that
who's hurt.
No, not in the finals, but I'm talking about the reason why we got the 2 teams that we got is because it's been a lot.
No, he beat a fully healthy Jokic. Talking about Shea beat a fully healthy Jokic. I forget who you talking about.
Specific. I'm just talking about. I'm just
saying. I guess who's hurt.
Well, I don't watch the shit. So you're probably right. I don't watch. So I don't know. I would just
Indiana just beat a healthy because
I know
New York had everybody.
Was hurt, right?
But
Knicks got some.
But Knicks was up. Knicks was up. Okay. Knicks was about to be up 3-1 on the Knicks before Tatum got hurt. Okay. Like Tatum got hurt last 2 minutes of a game that they was down by like 15 already.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they was putting belt to ass already to it. Nonetheless, with that said, we are out. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate everybody that's called in. Appreciate Kofi. You still in the back end. He said that Steve, he want the fade. He want the 101. Set it up and turn that camera on. With that said, we out. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace, y'all.
Trumpets and rose mode. Yellow diamonds look like PP. Bitches fly from DC on my private to Waikiki. 3P.